Control us, me.
We'll get for other stuff.
You are the conductor.
Control, Drizzy.
You are in charge. We believe in you.
Oh, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live. It's not really live, but it's live.
And we're not really back.
Wait, how are we not back?
I don't know. I'm joking.
Well, then maybe you should get some chat GPT jokes. It's DJXP. You might want to sit down for this episode 86, which I thought was last time, but this week is 86. I go by the name of DJXP, and as we keep going down the line,
my name is Trivelle.
My name is O'Shawn.
So cheers.
Salud.
Salud. I know O'Shawn doesn't want a drink, but that's fine.
Yeah, well, since you said to ask ChatGPT a joke, here's a joke. ChatGPT a joke. I said, yo, tell me a joke. I said, she said, why don't skeletons ever start beef?
Because they have no.
Because they don't have meat too.
Meat on the bones, right?
Close. Because they don't have the stomach for it.
You know that those guys that tell the dad joke. I love those guys. Oh man.
Yo, growing up in Brampton, I came across thousands of those people.
Oh come on.
Type of guys who hang out in the garage. Yeah. Yo, bro. But those garages were lit. No car would ever be parked in there. Couches.
Yeah,
a tin of cigarettes for some weird reason.
No, not a weird reason. They're just not allowed to smoke in the house.
Bro, TV, beer fridge.
Yeah.
And bro, the boy then would just come summertime. You said we just passed May 2 for a weekend.
Wait, beer fridge or bear fridge?
Both.
A beer fridge.
Okay, so not a lot, not an abundance.
There's one for the grilled meats as well.
Many fridges.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
you know what I mean. I can't wait till I'm a dad. God willing, I'm able to get there. But like that like seasoned age of like, yo, my wife loves me, my children. All right.
No, you know I'm laughing because
holy.
You have to think about that.
Yeah,
my wife.
You don't think about a place of like just emotional stability. Like think of like how I'm not saying, but you're okay. So you're unmarried. You're unmarried.
Yeah, but I have a
child.
A
daughter, right? But
and
you're in a serious relationship.
And I'm circumcised.
Wait, what happened?
I don't know what he's doing.
Oh wait, is this like a callback to something?
I'm just.
Oh, you're just stating it for.
No, I'm John Morant now.
Oh wait, you John Morant? Okay. Closing the ears is crazy because it's still gonna be loud.
But I think about like the emotion. Yeah. Like I think about how much emotional turmoil, turmoil.
Well,
emotional inconsistency. Because I don't want to make it seem as if I'm under siege.
You are.
But I think about the emotional inconsistency in my life that just comes from not being married and not like.
Oh, okay.
Like there's a consistency of emotion that you have. Yo, this is my lady.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing.
D'Angelo.
We're committed. These are my children. When they
have
my
stuff, children,
I'm committed to that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about like where you get to a point where it's like, yeah, watching the game in the garage with the man them is my time.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm not leaving because technically I am the man of the house. I'm not gonna cut, so I am in the garage.
Right,
like I am alone. Like you know what I mean? Those levels of Because I see that as like now that I'm older, I don't know why I see it as like a sign of ultimate respect and responsibility. The man said, "No, I'm not cutting. I'll be close." But the wives did never come outside. You know what I mean? Like it was interesting. And when they did, it was
true.
Right.
So I look forward to that concept of like the emotional oneness of a relationship. Should that be,
or
you know, God will be done.
But also, it's the context is always important because when you see that on the outside, for example, like you see that in someone's garage, you have no idea why that means so much to him because maybe everything else in his life, even with the family, could be chaotic. And that's the only time where he actually gets to get away from that. So because of the life you've chosen, you know what I mean? It kind of that's Mom Deep, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's who's beat? That's probably a Havoc beat.
It's gotta be Havoc.
Yo, this guy's insane beats. But yes, you never know that could be his only solace. But because of the life that you've chosen, like you're just gonna have to get those things in a different way until the opportunity presents itself, which kind of reminds me of like an ASAP Rocky. You know what I mean? Like how he's with Rihanna and he's getting to do that thing. You know, like with his wife. And they were also talking about how they don't have like babysitters and stuff like that. And she's like, I didn't make all this money and have kids at this time so that I can have a babysitter. Like I had it at this time so that we could be home with the kids kind of thing.
Yeah, so the sacrifice are doing what it has to do. I'm here.
You know what I mean? And that's why it's always funny when people try to make fun of ASAP for whatever reason it is. Not coming up with the album.
They're still making fun of him now. I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
They're still.
I don't really see
He's
him
getting a
anymore.
gun charge, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right? You would think
busy.
A little bit busy, right?
He got Riri. He got another kid on the way. He beat a gun charge.
Yeah, shout out to Rihanna. This is number 3 now.
He's coming out with a huge movie with fucking Denzel Washington and Spike
yeah.
Lee. He's at Cannes. He's running around.
Doing his fashion thing.
He's on the board of the Met Gala. Like, I mean, and then, he just dropping a song here or there. Like, what's fashion? He got with, was it not Prada? What's the other thing he got with?
Was it the glasses brand?
What was the glasses that he's with now?
I can't remember.
It's not Ray-Bans, is it?
It could be. It could be.
So, what's funny?
Come on, man. You know what I thought about?
A lot going on.
He might be living the New York dream. Excuse me.
Beer money.
I got the hottest chick in the game wearing my chain. He could be living the manifestation of the whole line of things.
If Hove come back. If ASAP comes out with 1-2 fire records with what he's got going on, records. If he got 2 hot records now, maybe one feature and one just like, oh shit, he's back with all of this shit that's going on. Whew, man, you guys gonna have to look at.
When's the last time you dropped something and you were like, yo, yeah, ASAP?
Well,
for real. I've never thought him not talented.
He's talented.
I just don't think he'd be doing it like that no more.
But I feel like he still got it somewhere.
He's someone who's I
feel like I think he's just doing so much stuff, but I think he's got it. I think he's got it in there somewhere.
Right, but you have to consider the fact that also he didn't really start as wanting to be like the artist. Like he kind of fell into that. So his approach and how he even does music is
Everything is purple.
It's kind of different. And even with his album, like the last one, holy fuck, 2018. The testing one. But the thing is, it was so left of field. Like how he produces records, if you listen to it, it's not traditional it doesn't follow whatever trend of the day of hip hop in terms of the project in its entirety.
He just did Rolling Loud as the lead.
Yeah,
like that's what I'm saying. He's got just one or two records. Everything's lined up for one or two records.
Yeah,
I would look at that as the universe kind of like blessing him. Like, yes, everything that you're doing, this makes sense because those records that you're talking about would be like the reward or the outward, because he's doing everything else. He's getting his family in order. He beat the murder charge. He has the girl. Like he has everything. He has the deals. He has the money. Like he can't
kids.
He can't lose. Right. So him getting another record that like, because what would be his last record?
Big one.
I would say this might be sacrilegious. Well, maybe the Shine. What? Maybe the Praise the Lord, the Shine.
Yeah, so
for his own record.
Is that the last one? That's 10 years ago, isn't it?
Is it?
No,
because he was also on If I Hit It One Time, I'm a like. And unfortunately,
so you give them that.
It ain't safe. It ain't safe.
Yeah, you got to give him that. Sorry,
that is G-Eazy.
Yes. with Cardi and him doing the hook, right? Him spearheading
you give him that
record.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but Praise the Lord, the Shine was on the 2018 The Testing album. That was a left of field kind of album. You know, with the Moby samples and all these different things that niggas don't think about. It's like it gets the love later, and you need.
He'll do it.
You know what I mean? It's sometimes it just takes us time to.
You just gotta do. You gotta put out more. That's the thing.
So what's the idea? Is that 7 years since
you gotta put out more?
But also, just putting in context, he's 36. So the last time he worked, he wasn't 30.
But he's been working on this album.
In terms of the last time he released something.
Okay. Yeah, that's
I think like sometimes and like you get over there, maybe his perspective, maybe there's a different, maybe he really does just love doing the fashion stuff and like maybe he really not trying to get into the lab and build like that anymore.
He will.
No. He is building. That's the misconception about him and Rihanna. These guys are making music. It's just about Hov and Beyonce are making music. He talks about how they have albums.
Don't get it twisted. I know people think when they don't.
But
this is the business.
If it's just for them, I'm happy for them.
Well, they're gonna put it out.
Yeah,
it's Rihanna's last album.
Well, she just released a Smurf song that has been getting trashed.
On the internet. Don't ever answer when's Rihanna's last album with the Smurf song.
Okay, well,
but it's her last release.
But that's not what we did.
It's her latest release.
She did a Smurf.
You know what I'm asking.
She did the song with Party, right? I did with the Leave It. Right?
That record. Oh my god!
And they didn't do anything.
Isn't that 5 years ago too?
No, it was like 3 maybe. And then she did.
Okay, fine. Let me check. Let me check Rihanna's
album. Holy.
And then
let me check Rihanna's last album.
And then she did The Lion King when it came out, right? Like,
the one with Thames, the Thames song.
Yeah.
But anyway,
and I think it got nominated for.
It was nominated for something. Yes.
I'm talking about her though.
And then she did the.
I know she did the Super Bowl. I'm not taking away from what she's doing. She's doing her thing.
I got you.
When did Anti come out?
2016.
That's a long time.
But here's the thing.
Okay, what about when did Cardi drop last?
2018.
We're not doing this.
But I'm just saying.
Cardi's busy fighting for her life.
But Rihanna also started at the turn of the 2000s, so she was putting in work for a while.
She's due to have her break. I'm not saying she can't have a break, but now it's not a break. Now it's like a hiatus.
She said she's been working on it. Don't worry. That's what she said. I'm taking her on her word.
Yeah, would you consider PartyNextDoor being one of her biggest collaborators, her writing partners?
Ghostwise. No, there's a girl. There's a girl.
Well, SZA.
No, it's not SZA. There's another girl from like back in the day that's like.
You're
talking
what's
about?
her name? She's not even an art, but she's like her biggest.
She's just a writer. I think I know who you're talking about.
Wait,
you're not talking about Esther Dean? No, someone else.
Is it Esther Dean? I don't think it's
because Esther Dean.
Okay,
also
what song was it?
Is an artist.
Hold on.
It's a hybrid, like those hybrid.
But she does
like
more writing than an artist.
Because you're talking about one of her go-to collaborative writers.
Yeah.
Wait, not the Chandelier, not Sia, because that's more for her pop-leaning records.
It could be Esther Dean, you know.
I think Sia's fire.
Yeah, no, most definitely. But
I saw her perform. I mean, she performed recently at some festival, and they went a little ballistic because it's like she's back on. It was like Undertaker. Like she just shit, say
shit, Sia is crazy.
Shit, how many songs?
See, she's worked with so many writers.
I don't think she has a one. I don't think she's dedicated.
But everybody does have one, at least, or they go through phases.
A go-to, like the where.
Yeah, you might be right, yo. You might be right, but I just can't think of.
Remember who it is.
It's not Mikey Echo. Like I don't know who it is. But the point is, people are saying there's this running joke because the Smurf song was so not good.
That person got fired.
The song is not good.
Well,
I never heard it.
Well, you want to hear it?
No.
You might want to sit down for this.
I'll hear it on the.
Well, look. I heard a little bit of it, and I have a very.
But it's for a movie.
Yeah.
Wait, time out. Is that what we're doing now? We're judging songs that are for movies.
You mad that we judging music, bro? What's wrong with this guy?
This is crazy.
You mad that we judging music? You don't want us to judge music?
Sometimes you write a song literally for a movie or a show or a commercial. Like it's not to be taken as is it work for the movie or not?
Apparently, the song took like 15 minutes to make, and the running joke is that it sounds that way.
Yes.
But what I would say is, they're saying that PartyNextDoor is their biggest collaborator, and they're saying because of this entire situation, that Party came and just took all his music away and said, "All right, you're on your own."
Don't do that.
But that's a good question. Before we get into all the other stuff, do you think?
No, because they've been beefing for a minute.
Who? Yeah.
Rihanna and wait, how did Rihanna get on Party Scent?
You see, exactly. When 20
no, but like, do you think Drake is the situation where he's like, "Yo"?
Well,
no, because Drake has been getting out ASAP for a minute.
Understood.
Like subliminally, in my opinion.
Probably during the 20v1. I think that's when I first started noticing.
Saying it's before that.
I feel like before that he was throwing subliminal.
Okay, that's fair. But I just don't know. But
I don't know their personal life, whatever.
Yeah.
20v1's a year ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe.
Because and you know what? And another thing I just thought of now. What if Drake doing this album with him was like his way of being like, "Yo, you do not need to work with her. Don't worry, I'm going to take care of you."
And then having to do that with him.
He's been having to do what?
I think.
Hold on. He's been having to do what?
Yeah, wait. What do you mean?
I've always thought that sonically, Party and Drake would go well together, and I think that even in just passing over years of them working together, they've always said, "Yo, we got to do this together."
Okay, and why didn't it happen? And
why did it happen?
Think
Party's in the vein of Frank Ocean. I think he just makes music when he wants to. I don't think he's desiring to be some big commercial all the time guy.
And I get that, but I'm telling you, the way they made it,
I think it was a process to say, "Come on, bro, like let's finish this."
No. I don't think so. I think this was
Party likes making music, and if you like it, you take a record and cool.
I know, but
the idea that we're sitting down, we have a timeline to finish and submit something because you're Drake and your schedule is pretty much spoken for, so we can't just be whimsical with the delivery.
But I want to be messy and say that I feel like Drake finally sitting down and letting them do this album and all the success that the album's getting. Because by the way, the album has now, I think, sold 1 million copies now, I believe, or on the way. It's very close. So it is doing well. It has gotten songs that they love of Party. They got songs that of Drake. But the fact that Drake put this on his jacket means, yo, you don't need any other person. I got you, bro. And this could be him fulfilling that. Because now, if Party goes, because I'm not saying that Drake cares that Party is doing music with Rihanna. Let's just for argument's sake, if he did care, this would be him saying, "You don't need her, and we good." And now you're gonna go against that. I just put you on the top 10 album, number 1 album, really.
If I'm Party, yeah. I understand that you and that girl had a
it's over 1 million.
Exactly. So Party is now a platinum selling artist as a primary artist.
No, I get it. So
not as a writer.
Okay, role play. I'll be Party, you be Dre.
Okay.
Yes, I understand you had an issue with that girl back in the day.
Recently, but
that was back in the day.
Also, I just flamed her man, and she's been supporting C Watkins and like us in club
like that. I'm signed to you. Like anything I do with her has money in your pocket at the end.
Okay, but all money's not good money, fam.
I feel you, but you don't care.
Fuck the industry. No, must be Drake Bell. Do you remember when he said that to Khaled? In the comments, yo. Anytime someone says some shit to me that I don't fuck with, I say, yo, must be Drake Bell. Like, that's my go-to because that short sentence meant so much.
It did.
Like, it was so much weight.
That really shook the industry. That shook hip-hop.
That album doesn't exist anymore.
Brady didn't come out. Yo.
He released a fucking Move Hollywood trailer.
It's like $500,000 to shoot that commercial. That trailer.
Bro, it hasn't come out. I'm sitting here realizing it hasn't come out now.
Forget it hasn't come out. They've erased the idea that it even existed.
Instagram post.
Like that it even existed. Like it's not. It's been brushed out.
Must be Drake Bell. Like that is absolutely insane.
I just don't think Drake cares, really. I think Drake is on principle, but I don't think he cares.
He doesn't care about what?
Rihanna's a billionaire. There's nothing I can do to stop her money.
But Party could have just not wanted to do it.
Party doing well, but yeah, you could always do better doing a record with Rihanna. Go get your money. I'm not going to stop you.
And I hope that's the case.
I don't think Drake, he's not stopping his bread.
I hope not.
I say like I'm not coming. No broken no peace.
Don't do that. It's not hope. He's not doing that. But you know why? Because Rihanna is not putting out music like that for us to even be like going, oh, he's took all these records and went back. Rihanna, you know what I mean? Like Drake is probably going to be like, yo, when Rihanna's ready, give it when she's actually ready. Yeah, let her get.
I hope so because
I don't think no.
Because the argument would be if him and Hove have some kind of issue, clearly it hasn't stopped Drake from working with Beyonce.
Who and Hove have an issue?
With Hove and Drake having their.
Hove and Drake
they don't have a.
It's like, but it could be that Cold War.
There's a friendly competition thing, but I don't think Hove is not active enough to be like I have a problem with Drake.
Wait.
The argument.
You don't have to.
The argument
is. I feel like Hove has matured out of a lot of those energies. He used to be. Bro,
I think the older you get,
Joe Budden off the
but sometimes it doesn't matter. I could be baptized. I could be chill. Whatever you want. If I'm 70-something years old, if you come grab my hand, I'm gonna start cussing you right there in front of everybody.
I don't think Drake has ever.
You watched the Denzel thing.
I don't think Drake has ever.
Did you see that?
No. Wait, no. We'll go there because we're gonna talk about the movie.
But he's talking about I'm above. No one's above nothing. What are we talking about? Jesus walked in the fucking. Where did he go into?
The church and flipped all the tables.
Yeah,
and told him to stop selling and doing all this crazy shit.
And was violent in there.
No.
So who's above what?
Who's above?
Hove is not above
being petty.
Hove has got to be like
and flexing.
I just don't think. I'm not saying that these guys aren't capable of the emotions you're talking about.
I got you.
I don't think that this is the hill that they would bring those.
What about if it's underneath, like it's hidden, like it's at the third, fourth row?
Do I think Drake with his voice smoking a hookah talks mad gas about people he doesn't rock with? Yeah, but do I think he's going to let it affect business? No.
Okay.
What business are you talking about though?
No, in this case it would be about Party writing.
Oh no, we're not talking about that anymore. You brought up Hove situation.
Same thing with Hove. If Hove gives me a feature, let's do it. That's a big record. Let's do numbers.
Between Hove and Drake.
Let's do numbers.
Yeah, they're good at doing it.
What I'm saying is,
what are you talking about?
I'm talking about the props with Kanye like that. And my real issue with Hove probably wasn't even you. It was Kanye.
But I'm talking about
the amount of times you used to call me on Kanye's rap being like, chill. I'm like, yo, this guy's crazy.
Well, you used to call me on my cell phone.
Right. But I'm talking about the proxy wars between the man you're beefing with and his woman. So I'm talking about in the case
where... I don't
think
dudes be doing that.
No, I understand. But what I'm saying is with the ASAP Rocky... With Hove with Drake having a problem with ASAP Rocky... And then him maybe not messing up the Rihanna thing is like Hove having an issue with Drake, and then Drake still being able to do stuff for Beyonce. That's all I'm talking about.
Because
why? How's it not the same? That's a one-to-one comparison.
Is it a rumor or true that Drake was physically with Rihanna at some point?
No, they were together.
Okay. Oh, you think that plays? So you?
Of course, that's gonna play a role.
My girl, and now you're throwing words out there. Are you crazy? That's different. All Drake can say to Jay is, "Yo, you were the king. I wanted the spot, so there was a friendly." Approach I had.
And Hove warned Drake on his songs and albums. Like he told him what was gonna happen.
This how they gonna get at you.
Like I'm not gonna. You can't be mad at someone that you were giving warnings to, and letting him know how the industry works.
The argument is if the warnings came from his actual actions, like Hove doing those things to him that he was warning Drake.
What did Hove do to Drake?
I don't know. I'm just going off of internet.
Obviously,
fodder.
Drake doesn't give interviews like that. For that matter, neither does Hove.
Exactly.
Nah,
Even though
for that matter, neither does Hove.
Even though we've seen them on Hot 97 and Breakfast Club before, and
that boy back in the
Hove
day
did a long, and I remember the long Rockefeller chain and
that boy back in the day.
I still remember the Rapzilla interview with Drake. But when these guys go, for example, Drake in particular.
Did you say Rapzilla? What about?
Because
wait, did you say Rapzilla?
Because Rapzilla is something.
Oh yeah.
I'm just
I
trying to.
I thought I was.
It's like it's a blog.
When Drake goes Tim Westwood, he doesn't talk.
Tim Westwood TV.
He doesn't talk.
No, but
he does a lot and doesn't talk.
Yeah, rap thing.
Nobody's asking him the questions
whatever they're
that
called.
we want to know.
Rap Radar.
Radar.
Which is defunct.
The Rap Radar is my favorite Drake interview.
But it's
the only Drake interview.
Yeah, it's the only one. What do you mean your
recent one as well?
Yeah, well, that's my favorite type of interview.
I told you
in terms of if you sit down with an artist, I don't like the fluff. Let's get to it, yo.
I told you the other day. I'm very disappointed that so far that Drake hasn't done. I wish he would do the Joe Budden pod or
that's coming.
We already talked about
that. Or what's it called? What's it called? Drink Champs. I feel like those are the two that he should do.
First.
Drink Champs will happen before Joe Budden.
They said, well, Drink Champs. He said Nori said he had it like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I remember when he said that, and then it never occurred. And I remember,
but I also think Drake is the type of guy where depending on your affiliations, I'm not giving you the rub because I don't trust why you want me over here.
Okay, so if there's like an ulterior motive type,
I could see Drake doing Jadakiss and Fat Joe before he does any video because I think he's really cool with Fat Joe. I don't think he has no issues with him.
He's cool with Fat Joe.
Fat Joe seems like the guy who's been political enough that he's never had he's never talked. There's no soundbite that's negative. And Jadakiss, like that's real hip hop.
And Bobby Antonoff, what's her name? Sorry, Bobby Aldoff. Remember how he jumped on her?
Oh yeah, he did that one, and then it disappeared
early. No. But I see what he's saying because he jumped on that podcast early. So the Fat Joe Jadakiss thing, he could jump on it early before because like I gave you all this, nigga.
No, but if you want if you want like an interview that's gonna like do unbelievable numbers and shake the whole internet,
Drink Champs.
You got to go to one of those guys.
Because he's going to be drinking.
I know.
Because people want to see.
They want to see the real.
The thing, and you know this with Drake. If I'm coming to Drink Champs and I'm drinking and I'm getting high, I get final cut. I'm not gonna let you guys edit this. You crazy?
Well, yeah, we know he did it to. Yeah, well then they have it.
Yeah.
So what? I mean, we're not gonna deny
because he's not against being funny and satirical. But my thing is, will Drake ever get into the stories like that?
Well, because I thought he was gonna do that on these streams, but he doesn't. Like these streams,
Aiden Ross don't give a fuck about the real shit. No. What do you mean? It's not even Aiden. It is Aiden. It's Aiden is the only one he's going to. What do you mean?
No, he did
because of the kick.
No, the other guy.
Oh, the QCP.
That was he was slowly starting to get a little.
Yeah,
we're like, whoa, wait. Like that was that was a little.
Man's like, I'm here. I was like,
wait, hold on.
Yo, when you open up the call,
chill out.
I'm here.
Chill out.
And that was close after the beef as well. So there was like a lot of
All right,
tension.
so let's do it this way. Who does he do first, if anyone? I'm gonna give 3 names. I'm gonna give 4 options.
Should we say who we think he is or who we would want him to do?
Yeah, you talking about wish list or business?
Okay, give me the 4, and then I'll tell you.
The 4 are academics.
Well, yeah, that's all.
But
don't.
It's gonna happen. It's just
obvious,
not fun.
Just like the party hasn't happened.
Fair.
Academics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drink Champs.
Yeah.
Joe Budden.
Yeah.
Other. In terms of a comprehensive hip hop style interview,
Like Shannon Sharp.
A Shannon Sharp.
He could.
That Shannon Sharp would have been.
If Shannon Sharp didn't get himself cooked up, I think Shannon would have got it.
And that would have been fucking
massive.
unbelievable.
Massive.
That would have been.
No offense, Shannon is a bad interviewer, so Drake would have known. I'm gonna go in here and kill him.
I hate you.
But the bites and the team, his team would have helped him cultivate some great questions.
It would have been incredible.
And Drake would be like, "Yo, how did he?" And he'd be like, "Yo, I got my people." You know,
because Shannon would have got into the Drake.
Yeah, Drake, come on.
What happened in that club?
Come on, Drake. That's Chris Brown. Drake, come on.
But you know what? I'll say this: maybe him getting in this turmoil actually makes that closer to reality.
Heck no.
Why? He deals with Aiden Ross, who's dribbling in controversy. He revels with academics, who's reveled in controversy. I'm saying the controversy.
I don't think he does act because I think act is messy. I don't.
Yeah,
you said act. I think
so. You don't think Aiden's
will
messy?
never happen.
He would go to.
You don't think Aiden is messy?
You know how society treats black men and white men.
And that's
a fact.
When we're here.
He's right.
I'll be real about that.
No.
People look at Aiden and haha kiki funny. People look at Ack and it's like, liability.
Yeah, Aiden. Yeah, they look at Aiden and say haha kiki funny, calling Doechii a bitch and she's a terrible person. And he's whatever. He gets all off.
Guys.
He's a fucking.
I've classed all these guys. Aiden Ross, Post Malone. I cast a lot of these guys.
What did Post Malone?
Wait, Post Malone.
All he did was do hip hop and throw it away.
I put the guys in the category that they come over to get some money, get some market share, and then when they're ready to step out, they step out.
But we gotta separate those like the white ones that are really derogatory to us compared to the ones that just use us.
Yeah, there is a difference.
I find it derogatory to be used.
No, more than someone saying we're monkeys and shit.
Hey,
I know that was good. No, I'll give you that.
You gotta step on my line like that.
Yeah,
you the rascal,
bro. No, I'll give you that, but
anxiety.
But my number one choice is other. Let's say let's say Shannon settles.
So Shannon other.
Let's say they have Shannon is in my other category. Whoever the other is, because I don't think we have a big. But I still think Drake would probably want to do somebody who has crossover appeal.
You know what?
I honestly think that. That's why I put the other out there.
But enough. We need. Yo, I'll be honest.
No, but I mean appropriate. Like, okay, for example, Charlamagne has crossover appeal, but I'll never do Charlamagne.
No.
Andrew Schultz, he'll never do Andrew Schultz.
Wait.
Oh, well, I could see
you know what?
All right.
That one's not off the table.
Would he do a Joe Rogan? Like, I'm putting the other in a huge category.
Okay, he might do Joe Rogan too.
I can see him doing a Joe Rogan. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say the other.
But I don't want him to do that either over these guys.
But I like Joel. Joel does conversation.
But
I think Joel will get him there.
We need our black artists and superstars to give the opportunity to these other black creative interviews guys
as well.
Oh fuck! Wait! Hold on. Time out. No, we fucked up. There's one big one that we're missing.
Oprah,
Rory and Mal.
He would never do that.
Why? Because of Damaris?
Too small.
I think. You know what? You know what he'll do?
Too small.
You know
respect to them. Respect
you know what he'll do?
Too small.
I don't know. I don't.
He'll do Joe and Rory.
Come on.
That episode when they eventually come back together with
the crossover show. Dun, dun,
dun, dun. Because the problem with
he still loves Rory.
I see what. Yeah. Joe.
Okay, who still loves Rory?
Joe Budden.
Yeah, it's him and Maul that are never right.
Yeah, that's the one, and I know that's not because when I see Maul talk on his own, I don't see like a glimmer of
reconciliation.
And every time Joe brings it up, it's Rory gets brought up in jokes or whatever, and I'm like, usually when you play with your mans, it's through jokes.
I also say other because I think there's a small chance,
tiny
chance,
which one
that he has to do something before
Jennifer Hudson
the World Cup.
Oh.
Okay, I think there's a tiny chance the World comes to Toronto.
On a promo tour.
He'll be doing I think there's a small chance that it'll be part of a rollout at that time. That's why I say other because bro, they could put anyone.
I got other for you. Drake sitting down with Hove.
Oh,
hold on. You know, a lot of the best actor interviews now is to sit down with the actor.
The Variety, Vanity Fair,
Yes.
Actors and actors.
It's fucking brilliant.
Vanity Fair.
So if Drake wants to do one and doesn't want to give any of these podcasters, doesn't want to give any of these hosts, if he sits down with a powerhouse artist,
I still think he does a crossover artist because of how I think Drake thinks. I think Drake sits with like a Taylor Swift.
Yeah, but
I still think he doesn't do what.
But I don't want that.
It.
I'm just telling you, Drake. I don't want you to do that. If you're gonna do one of those artist ones that's a woman, do like Drake, Beyonce, do Drake fucking. Well, you can't do this anymore, but Drake.
It needs to be an artist that's huge, but he can't know them like that.
Yo,
Beyonce.
Imagine one day.
And Beyonce doesn't even do interviews like that. So imagine she's back and it's got to be something crazy.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you guys. I want music to follow wrestling. Just do something crazy.
Bro, the crossovers that we can have.
It's crazy.
People just put their egos to the side.
Like, put it away. Like Kings of Queens. When Kings of Queens crossover with fucking Everybody Loves Raymond, that shit shakes the industry. Like, we need to have that shit, man.
Remember when they used to do crossovers all the time with cartoons?
Remember
when the X-Men showed up in Spider-Man?
Crazy. Bro. You watch the next episode and they were in that one. That is the beauty I'm talking about.
Okay.
What's the crossover? Give me the crossover.
The crossover that we would need?
Yeah, we need a crossover.
How many years am I allowed to give for this?
Oh my God, I got one that we could. Oh wait, I got one that won't. Okay, I got one.
Okay, you do yours, and then we'll move on.
But they won't do it now because of the situation.
Go.
It really should be Drake and LeBron.
Yeah, that was mine.
Bro,
that was mine.
They both get criticized. They both get praised. They both get glazed. They both get hit up with everything that
praised, glazed.
If LeBron and they all have the same, and they grew up together. They grew up with each other. They know a lot with each other. The tattoos, all the parties, this. LeBron and Drake,
and
bro.
Also, like just knowing that wherever they shot, that would probably be the most immaculate.
Well, it would be the shop, right? Because he did come on the shop one time, right? Drake came on the shop, right?
Yeah.
Some type of
like
variation of it.
But one of the first ones they did.
So we don't
really
count
during the
that.
Pusha thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because LeBron don't even go in the shop as much anymore. He's on Mind the Game more than anything else.
Yes.
Yeah.
He just
got to
produced.
mind the game.
But this LeBron sitting down with him.
Yeah.
And maybe, imagine they got to get into the bag like, yo, I was at the show, just to let you know, like I wasn't on the stage. Like, imagine they started to get into
finally,
like those type of conversations and talk about the haters in the NBA that hate on him that are vets,
because they would ask the questions.
Yes,
they would do it properly.
Correct.
And LeBron loves hip hop. And he's also media trained, so people would help him. LeBron, we're gonna get this out of him today.
That would be the one. That would be the one.
No, I feel you. So let's move on to the next section. But I want to say this, and I want to preface this.
So do we all agree that other is a higher likelihood than academics? But
yes, because we have a lot of other.
But what was the high other that we kind of thought could be the closest?
The high other?
Yeah, like out of the others, because I agree with you, it's probably the other. But out of the other, which one? The Shannon. Wait, so Shannon, this version of Shannon,
he has to fix himself. But yeah.
Oh, he feels like he has to fix himself. I don't think
he has to settle.
To fix himself.
I can't have a rape accusation hanging over and get the Drake in it.
Well. I'm not gonna do it. We're just gonna move on.
He was about to do a great segue.
No, I'm not.
But like,
no, it's okay. It's not even. I can't even.
It's gonna be a Lionel Messi version of.
So I want to preface
Dave
this
Portnoy
next section.
Get him too.
Well, Dave Portnoy was doing Shannon.
Shannon, he did. Yeah.
Which is why I started opening my mind.
Yeah, I want to know how he feels.
You don't like Dave Portnoy, huh?
No, I don't.
No, we might need to like him.
Why does Dave Portnoy?
Because.
I like Dave Portnoy. Why don't you like him?
I have been different.
I hate that he hates LeBron, and I hate that he hates.
So that's just,
and I hate how he hates too much on Angel Reese. Too much.
And that's fair. But that's fair because those are sports hate, so that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
was it the one time with the?
No, he keeps doing it every day.
He's cooking still.
Like he's still. It's like, yo, is it that serious? Like every time, it's like, all right. And then he's drawing the people who hate blacks and hate black women specifically.
Yes,
they all congregate.
Perfect segue.
In these
amazing segue.
They congregate in these sections. That fucking ape. Yeah, that fucking
chimpanzee.
I'm like,
that baboon.
I wish you knew. I'm like, even if he's just doing it in sports, I'm like, I wish you knew the power that you're bringing these guys to. Like,
he knows.
He knows.
But he knows for the clicks. He runs an organization,
but anything for content, bro.
And there you go. So here's where I want to go with this next section.
Yeah.
I want to speak to the women for a second. You said I parented to women. That episode was doing very well on certain things that I saw.
In your DMs.
Well, you do.
No. Like
you
just
have a daughter.
the analytics and whatnot. But
you do have a daughter.
Right.
So you parent.
Yes, but I want to say this. Last week when we didn't have a podcast, there was
because of Trivelle.
Yes, it's Trevelle's fault. He was doing our enemy shows or whatever. We're having fun. Come on.
I don't know, man. Relax. Look at him. Look at him stressing out.
When last week there was a lot of things in the headlines that it almost felt like when you read them in succession.
Great show,
right? It sounded like an attack on women. Okay. You had the Diddy trial that is going on, and it's going to be going on for a while.
8 weeks ago, I think.
Right.
It's quick.
Then you had the DDG Halley Bailey situation.
Diddy G.
Right, exactly. Diddy G. Ooh, okay. Alliteration in this motherfucker. I hate alliteration. And we had the information about the Tory Lanez. Then we also had the information about Sky Jackson with her baby father. So the narratives online.
You even had him on Trump trying to get Tiana Taylor in jail, B.
Yo,
man, just cooked.
But
that was Mother's Day.
We're not gonna.
You like what he's cooking,
fam? That is the most nasty.
Okay, good because
disrespectful.
When I hear cook, I always take it.
Nah, I mean, like I think the man is fried. I think he's lost it. He's just come undone.
Like I don't know what's going on.
Tiana Taylor has been so respectful to this man in public.
But let's talk about that one after because I'm not really well versed in that. So I want to, but I do want to hear what you got to say. What you guys have to say about that. For 20
days, there's nothing to say. The man is losing.
Yeah, that's it. It's just simple. Like you wanted to go to jail, like
because she talked about their divorce. He's claiming that she talked publicly about her divorce.
Right.
He wants her to pay $1,000.
And go to jail.
For 20
Sounds
days.
Like Boosie. Give me $1,000 and show me if pussy lips. All right.
What a time.
So anyway, back to women, because this started women. I just did that. So I apologize. But what I want to say is I want to apologize to women because...
Can you hear me?
What?
What did you say? Because he doesn't have headphones on, so I don't know if he's like catching everything I
can.
Oh.
You should put on headphones, you fuck.
I don't know, because like how would he know the things that we say?
But you know what? Your volume has been okay.
Yeah, I know. His volume is great. I'm talking about if he hears what we're saying, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so that... Is it at a good volume? Whose phone was that?
Yours.
Definitely
Mine's
not.
always on silent.
All right. Oh, it was mine actually. So here's what I want to say. With all of these things, women specifically, because I'm speaking to how they feel, since I'm the resident woman feeler of emotions, as I've been given the crown by you.
Yeah.
They feel like there is an attack on womanhood in the social conversations of these headlines in the entertainment industry right now.
There's no more disrespected group than black women.
Right. So
That's
for black women, put a double asterisk, right? So
they rip them apart for fun.
Right.
It's crazy.
So as a black woman, seeing these headlines play out and see the way that it feels like a lopsided and a consorted effort to just side with anybody who is not the black woman, I recognize that, and I want you to know that nobody on here feels that way in terms of a blanket, just no one gives a fuck about what you're saying, and whatever the male side of things is saying is correct. Because I understand when things get dogpiled on top of each other and it seems like that's what the narrative is what's being said, you just feel like every single thing is that direction. So I want to preface that and say that's not the case. Now, we do not have a lot of information about those three situations that we named, but we will talk a little bit about them just to get the gauge, especially because a lot of these are ongoing currently, right? So we'll start with, right? So we will start with the elephant in the room, the Diddy trial. Now, look at the dead silence. I can hear the fucking buzz. Here's what I want to say. We're going to talk about it a little bit because, once again, this is ongoing.
Yeah.
But what I want people to understand is you have to be very cognizant about the charges that is being laid against someone and what the person has been known to do in certain regards. And unfortunately, it's not like that Diddy trial, for example, is not about, is Diddy a disgusting individual that did a bunch of nasty things? It's not about his sexual preference, orientation, deviance even. It's about
activity.
Right? It's about the trafficking. It's about, I forget what the other two charges were. So we have to be mindful about, because when you look at the defense and the prosecution, they are there to prove one side and to disprove the other side. That's all it is. Because if we base it on, if we said this trial was about, is Diddy somebody who abused a woman? Well, the answer is yes.
It's obvious.
And there's video proof.
We have eyes.
You know what I mean? That was a Drake callback.
Racketeering, conspiracy,
okay, yes.
Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion.
Through coercion.
Coercion. Yeah. Transportation
right.
to engage in prostitution.
Right. So these are
RICO.
And which falls under RICO. So
everything's a RICO today, apparently.
Well, because it's an easy way to scoop and collect things and have a grander case to these things. But what I want to say is, with Cassie, which I don't believe, there was this narrative that was going around about that she was subpoenaed and needed to testify, but then based on what she was saying, it sounded like she did it because it was on her conscience, right? So I think, so that's a difference, because what a lot of the narrative is going around is that someone who is involved in nefarious things with somebody is that they are complicit no matter what. The problem with that type of line of thinking, just generally speaking, is you don't know at what point that person started to fear for their life or fear for repercussions in a way where they had to start to play along, or Stockholm syndrome, or like there's so many different things that you can say that you can't just say because somebody contributed that means that they are an equal to the person that was doing the oppression or doing whatever. Because the same thing could be said as like when we were slaves and things like that. We were slaves when we were slaves. It's like, okay, we're here and we're enjoying or trying to live our life. It's like saying we're okay with being slaves. No, but at a certain point you have to live your life within the new context that is your new normal. So when people try to use that to say that she was just okay with everything because she was sending googly eyes saying, we gonna set up this person and that person, you don't know the genesis of what started down that rabbit hole. So I don't think that is a reason to say that she was enjoying everything and she was complicit. Now, obviously, you can't say that there is no responsibility, but what you have to be cognizant of is to recognize that coercion is part of it. Being someone who's young, being in a 10-album deal. Yo, when was the last time you heard someone was in a 10-album deal? I didn't even know those existed.
I don't think they exist, actually.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a very specific deal. So you have to think someone is young and signs this shit because like they don't know any better. Once again, and that could speak to the mind. But the point is, what I'm saying is, I don't think any sane man can see the things that he's accused of doing, see the things that he's done, see the testimony of people, and then say she's absolutely incorrect and he's gonna get off scot-free. Now, what I will say before I throw it to you guys is his defense team is not here to play. He doesn't have a fly-by-night defense team. Like
Brent still just got Young Thug off.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
And if you look at the details of that case,
Right.
Crazy.
I'm not,
That was another
regardless
RICO.
how anybody feels,
Another RICO.
Yeah.
that is a lawyer who knows how to work the law.
There you go. And that's very important when you're talking about proving to a jury of your peers or disproving something.
No, is this a jury or they did a bench trial?
I think it's a jury. It's a jury. And you said, so
that's
now
what-
you only have to
It's a jury.
prove that to a couple of people.
Here's the problem.
There's a lot of problems.
Well, yeah, there is.
Because Thug was a bench trial, no jury,
Okay.
No jury.
if I'm correct.
I'm gonna double check it, but I think
Yeah,
it was
double
no
check,
jury.
but-
Lawyers know the law.
I think it was no jury.
Juries know their emotions. Diddy, from a legal perspective, so far has been having a good time in terms of legally.
Correct.
Has the
And
statement
what can be
proven
proved
their
in this-
legal case,
Yeah.
but emotionally he's been having a terrible time.
And that's
So
exactly.
it's going to come down to what the jury's like.
and how they feel.
Yes.
And go ahead. Because I feel like you want to say something, but if
No,
you
yes, but I mean, like, if you pay attention to, I mean, if you know the law a lot, how the courtrooms work, and
Yeah.
and if you've watched certain TV shows, which I like,
Correct.
I always
Yes.
like to reference.
Absolutely. The Good Wife.
I tell people
Yeah.
that's a great show to try to understand the law and how people, how lawyers manipulate,
absolutely.
and express facts and this, that, and the third.
Habeas corpus
But
and, yeah.
you're right about the emotion side. But if your lawyers are that good at breaking through emotion and making it clear as day to the jury what you're supposed to look for, there will be a jury members who will put their emotions aside because they learned a lesson about what they're actually here for.
Correct.
Which is where a lot of people lose in court because
Yeah.
the defense team didn't articulate enough to the jury what is needed. So if they're doing a great job, I think there's like how many 8 lawyers. I know he got a super team, a super team really. If they explain and break it down, they could remove that advantage that they looks like they have right now, which is the emotion,
And the star
side.
and Cassie being the star witness and things of that nature.
Because I've seen shows or situations where they're like, yeah, that's so wrong. And then someone comes out and like the 12th guy, 11th guy is like, yeah, it is wrong. But remember what he said. He said this, that, and the third, and that's not what this is,
And this
right?
is not the charges
and
that
then
are
they
being
go,
lauded against somebody.
and then they all start. We're supposed to pretend that these guys are not talking to each other or fucking looking at the news or looking at the internet nowadays. I mean, back in the day it was back in the day it was harder. It was harder because the news, you could turn off the news, but there's no way they're not going to get influenced by a whole bunch of other shit that's going on.
Yeah, 1,000%.
So I mean,
It's going to be very interesting.
sticky. It's sticky. It's
One
really
thing I
sticky.
heard was, well, at the time of our recording, is that first of all, I thought Aubrey O'Day was going to be put on the stand. Apparently, she's not. Even though she's been talking shit about Diddy for the last 15 years.
She doesn't want to, or they didn't.
No, they just brought on the
select her?
girl. The
Don Richards,
Richards.
came up and said a lot of things, which I didn't think she was going to, but she
But
came
she was
up
talking
and said a
stuff
lot of
before this, like
Yeah, but she's part of Dirty Money. She was a little
She
bit
was.
more
What? She was more what? More on his side?
Yeah.
No, it was the other. It was the other girl.
He stopped liking her immediately.
Yeah. It was the other. It was the other girl that he was cool.
I
with.
stand corrected.
And Aubrey O'Day also wasn't like a.
I know. I guess
she like
first
if I did the prep on her.
Yeah.
I would have said we can't use her because the defense is going to kill her in cross.
Yes, okay, and see, and that's
why I know that from home. Aubrey O'Day would have gotten killed in cross.
Right. So here's my question then, because what will happen at
even
the
if
time
she has
of
a point? By the way, I want to be very clear.
Correct.
She could have a point, but
because they're going to see
else.
her emotion and they're going to see the way she's. It's not going to be something that they can manage.
That's not what they tried with Cassie. It just didn't work on me because I'm aware of court, so I acknowledge. Wow, great job. Matter of fact, if I ever tried to do it, that is how you do it.
That's how you do it.
Didn't work on me. But seeing that they did that to her and she is the victim, and you still went in there and hit the character with her and still went in there and said, yeah, you did it one time when he forced you, and then after that you guys had a good time. Still got all that out.
Yeah, those.
I would not want to see what Brian Stewart did with Aubrey O'Day, with whom he doesn't have to hold no punches.
He'll destroy
at all. She's not pregnant, and it's not. She's not the one
punches, and they still got her.
And they still got her. And for those jury members, did they get her? And the answer could potentially be yes, and we'll see. But what I was going to say is they're bringing someone else, Kid Cudi. He's taking a stand. By the time this comes out, he would have already taken a stand. You know why he's getting put on the stand, because he was dating Cassie apparently.
He's not going to prove RICO. That's a problem.
No, I know, but I want to ask you in terms of the emotional they needed
angle, like the assistant. I needed an instant. If I'm being honest,
well, yeah, maybe the assistant's going to be up there.
To prove a RICO. Again, it's what they're charging him with.
Yeah, that's what
I understand.
They're going to get him for travel for prostitution because he flew me out here. So they're going to get him for that.
Shit.
You flew me out here and I said we had sex, and like that's true.
You
have video. We clearly did this. This clearly wasn't Miami or LA, and I clearly don't live there. Okay, you got me on that. Bro, RICO says that you have to show that you are running a criminal conspiracy like a business.
Yeah.
So I'm the head, you're the capo, the el capitan, then you have your, and everybody's getting paid and we're all aware.
Yeah.
Right.
That's going to be hard to prove.
When you need
the assistant that said, after Diddy beat her up, I brought her and sealed up her bandages and hit her over here so she can get ready for the next freak off. And she couldn't leave. And I had Ernesto follow her. So you need that person.
Let me ask you
this.
They
don't have that person.
One of the escorts who had articulated that he would beat Cassie and he would see that he would beat Cassie when she didn't want to do freak offs. What do you think that did emotionally for the jury? Because someone has said this,
being a domestic abuser.
Right. So now
and the defense did a job of leaning into that already. Diddy's a terrible person. I don't think his daughters will ever talk to him again.
Will the jury of peers separate those things
of the court when this conversation happened,
bro? But it's
how many days? Because now
I wasn't in court.
That wasn't the one day. That was the one day. Who know? Are they doing
were there
that every
day one, and after that didn't come back?
I just think if they continue to beat on the he's a terrible person,
it's not gonna work.
This is you guys are.
It's not gonna work.
This
And we're gonna see what that.
We're gonna see come with something else. You know,
I'll say this: I'm happy Cassie got her money.
From Diddy and from the hotel for leaking that.
I'm happy Cassie got her money.
Oh, they did get from the hotel.
Apparently, it was 10 mil. Was
because I don't think the feds are gonna get their jail time.
No,
remember they're going after jail. I want everybody to understand. They're trying to put this guy behind bars
for a long time. They're trying to do.
Life is what he can get to get the whole thing.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let me just say, I don't know much. He's not getting life so far.
Based on what you've seen so far.
I need a whistleblower.
Yeah,
I need a whistleblower. I don't need the escort that was piping or the girlfriend that says I love them and he manipulated me.
No, we need a
whistleblower.
You need something else. And it need to be concrete. You got to be hard, concrete.
And also, like not for nothing, bro. Remember when they put Diddy on trial? They made it seem as if Diddy was throwing massive parties.
Yeah,
and entrapping people.
Yeah, that's how it.
That's what it was.
Correct. That's
how it wasn't. He was abusing his girlfriend.
Yeah,
that wasn't.
And now you guys keep focusing on that.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, wait, why?
You have to admit, when they put Diddy on trial and he was waiting and they wouldn't let him out, you thought he entrapped people.
Yes,
correct.
That's what
I thought he was Harvey. I thought he was Epstein.
I truly thought he had bitches locked up, and this is what was going on. Like.
These people were being paid and being sought on like Craigslist and things
like in Amsterdam, you see the girls in the windows locked up, locked up, and they're like, come here. That's what I thought.
The man used to pay on performance fee.
So, sorry?
He had a range of money. He used to pay between $500 to $6,000 depending on how you did.
Yeah, and he also said like if they bust early, they wouldn't get paid. Yeah, like it's just been a nasty fest. But will that be enough for what is being lauded against
when they were sending videos at LeBron, like, oh, you let Bronny go to the bro, this is not what they're testifying to.
Yeah, that's exactly. We'll so you're right. It will take a whistleblower of someone of prominence.
They're trying to find them. They're trying to find them. I don't think they have them.
They won't.
Or I either need a whistleblower or I need someone he entrapped outside of his girlfriend who says, I went to a Diddy party, he drugged me, I slept with someone, and then he blackmailed me with that video.
And there's evidence.
Then they got him.
Then they got him. Okay.
But does that get him on all of those things?
No,
that one?
But it helps their case a little bit more.
Because blackmail you can't do.
Right.
I did it on purpose. Who set up the camera? Who set you up with the girl? I get closer.
You get closer. And that's really all it's about. It's about how close
he planned it. He organized. Oh God, I get real close.
Yeah, exactly.
And I flew in the woman who entrapped you.
Correct.
Well, they're gonna have to show the real facts because not just your word. You can't just come to court and just.
And if I blackmailed you for money or influence, game on.
Correct.
Game on.
Show the trail.
Right. So that's once again we're not going to go too deep into the Diddy track because it's ongoing. By the time we get the next one, we already got that it's already outdated information.
So outdated information.
So the next one I would talk about would be the DDG and Halley. Is it Halle Bailey?
Haley,
right.
Halle Bailey.
Halle Bailey.
There's only one Halle.
The Little Mermaid.
Right.
The Little Mermaid.
Now,
Chloe's sister.
She got a temporary restraining order against him, and I think she's trying to get. Don't do it. This is not a Snoop Dogg song.
DJ.
She is trying to get
sole custody.
Well, she's trying to have these supervised visits that are very minimal in nature and very restricted. She wants to be able to take their child, Halo, out of the country for an extended period of time as she shoots her next film. Oh. And she has said that there has been physical violence lauded against her. Now, here's the thing that I want people to understand. If you're telling me that I'm to believe that he did absolutely nothing physical to her at all, and she is registering these charges and getting this restraining order,
it's a lie.
I'm gonna have to call cap. There is no way that he did nothing to her at all, and she's just making this up out of her ass because she wants custody of the child. Because really and truly, if like, I don't want to be rude, but it's like he can have a child with another person. Like,
wait, what?
No, let me cook. Okay. Let me cook.
Yes, that can happen.
Let me cook.
You got that.
Let me try to articulate this because I had this in my head and then I butchered it up.
That's humanly possible. Correct.
But what I want to say is this: like, I don't feel like she would say this if it wasn't true, and I feel like if this was something where he really because he has a lot of endorsements, he's a popular streamer, he's getting a lot of money out there. Like, he doesn't need this type of accusations. Even Aiden Ross talked about the fact that he even spoke about it. He even lost some things, some endorsements or whatever. But what I want to say is,
Lanez, go ahead.
If he didn't do anything at all, like, let's put ourselves in the shoes.
So he's a 100% innocent man.
Yes, that he did nothing. He didn't touch her. He didn't.
Just 100% fabricated lies.
Yes. Then you just gotta let her have it, yo. And you know what? We'll look to
let her have what?
If she wants full custody of the child and she wants nothing to do with him,
and lie on your name 100%,
and lie on your name, because obviously it didn't start that way.
Wait, right? But lie on your name 100%.
If she's lying on his name 100%.
He should just say take the kid.
But remember,
I'll take the accusation.
She didn't go to get this restraining order and get this very specific conditions of the child's visitation just out of the blue. This happens because a breakdown in communication happened, right? So if you are so concerned about your business and the things that, and the public perception and things like that, sometimes you just you really want the kid. You got to do what Ant did. See how we paid the chick $2 million?
I thought he wasn't allowed to.
Oh, that wasn't true?
Yeah, he tried to. He wanted to.
Oh, so he made the attempt. And then they said no?
I don't know if there was an attempt. That's just not how life works.
Not how life works is not what we're going with. Did he try to pay?
You sign your second contract. You're trying to give me.
Yeah, he was trying to do that.
$2 million on some $5,000 a month, and you're worth $260.
So they turned it down.
Are you out of your mind?
No, he's not. He can't do it. You're not allowed to.
But why didn't I get the follow up about this information? Because I just heard that
you're not allowed to do that.
Then how did he even try?
You think niggas care? They want to be this. Yo, I'll give you this money. Yo, leave me alone.
Guys pay women to get abortions. It's
the same thing. Like you said, yo, I'll give you this $2 million. Leave me alone. I don't want.
Okay, so it was an offer based, and she turned it down.
You keep in the baby. All right, hold this $2 million. Don't ever call me again. She's like, okay, funny story.
Right. So, but okay. So you know what? We'll use that as the sentiment then. The sentiment of wanting to do that, him wanting nothing to do with the child, because it's just a messy situation, obviously for him. But what I'm saying is that. What?
I can't even let us go down this road.
No, let it go down because it's my quote. I mean,
if the woman doesn't have whatever, regardless what you believe, this is not a morality statement. If the woman doesn't have the abortion and she chooses to have the child,
okay,
you got caught. You can't buy your way out of that. Stand up, be a father.
Okay, I wasn't talking about buying your way. I'm talking about buying your way out of the headache.
The point you're going with the DDG thing. No, you got to go pregnant, live with it.
Yes, no. I'm not debating that. But what I'm
just let her have nothing. You need to be a father.
Yes, you can be a father, but.
Not from a distance.
But here, no.
You have means, you have money, you have lawyers. Yes. Fight for your right. Keep your child.
No. It's not about fighting for your right because.
But she wants him to be a father from a distance.
Yeah, and no.
So So basically, what you're saying is, what should he do in the situation? Because I'm thinking.
You think he should hug it?
Because
that's how XP is.
Getting to court.
You are like you rather less stress, so you'll say, you know what?
And that's a detriment. And that's not good.
Bro,
that's not a good thing.
You'll go, all right, you know what?
And I should be more combative and more to everybody.
Even with the child?
Because you're talking about if you didn't do it at all.
How is it getting to a restraining order?
She's lying on me, obviously.
Because I don't think she's lying completely.
She can't be lying.
She's not lying about everything.
You're giving me a premise. You're saying if he didn't do anything.
You said the premise. You started off with a premise.
The premise would be she's lying on me.
Yeah.
If she's lying on me, I fight harder. Because I don't want the record to reflect that I hit my child's mother, which caused me to not be allowed to be around my child. How do I explain that?
That I'm insane.
You're 16.
I'm a psychotic prick.
But you didn't do anything.
Yeah, but if you didn't do anything, there's certain things that you have to hug to let peace prevail for the child. You don't put the child in a back and forth.
Your kid's gonna be 16 and say, "Dad, you did this out of a sense of peace," and you're gonna have a very hard time explaining to the child, "No, I didn't really hit her. I just let it go."
No, you won't.
What?
You won't.
Yo, there is some. What are we doing?
You won't.
There are some kids that still hold grudges today on their kids.
Because if you fuck around and mess up,
my parents separated at 12. I still have very vivid memories and emotions about that.
Okay, and that's fair. Did your father? And we're not trying to put you on trial.
Are we doing it?
No, because I don't want to do that.
Anything in the name of content.
Yo, fuck this nigga, man.
Okay. But when did you get to see your father after you were living with your mother?
Dance with my father.
Okay.
What?
But you see?
What do you say?
Every weekend. So his mother never removed his father from his life because he never did anything that was egregious enough to deny a child.
I don't think any father. Nothing I've ever done to the mother.
Yes.
And I hold this,
Okay.
Should forfeit me from being a father.
And that's fair.
It forfeits me from being in your life.
But when you set
it does not forfeit me from being a father.
Right.
Unless you think I'm a danger to the child.
Exactly. So now the question will have to be, did he really do nothing to her physically? And this is just a case of him being stalkerish and she's just trying to get him away so that there can be court mandated visitation that is outside of their purview, because there's a lot of people that are dealing with, and once again, I'm not trying to put you on the stand here. Did your parents have a court mandated visitation, or was this something that they brokered together?
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good question. They did have a separation agreement.
But a separate, because they couldn't.
But they had a mediator. They didn't go to
they
court.
agreed on the kids thing. The kids thing was very easy.
Okay.
It took a while for it to be easy.
Correct.
They did debate that for a bit,
and which is normal,
right? But then there was a thing that worked out.
Yes.
And then while that was in place, then there was a work towards other stuff. But I'll say this.
Yes.
There were details in the original child separation agreement that they just stopped following, because there's stuff that they put in when they were angry.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then as time went on, they're like, we don't need this part of it. Like, just come get him.
Yes.
Right. But it has to get to there. So obviously, my thing is, this is a very, women are not stupid. I understand that we the law favors women, especially depending on where you're from. I'm gonna assume she's from the LA area. No, because it doesn't. No, depending on if you go to some of those countries and some of those places, I'm not gonna feel
because they don't exist.
No, they do. I'm just not gonna do it on here. Let's have
beep it out.
A certain amount of attacks. No,
beep
but I'm not doing this. Okay, anyway, so What I will say is that I feel like the fact that it got to that point, he had to have done something for her to even be able to get this off, because there's going to be time for evidence. There's going to be time for these things. And there's another big case that involves a man and a woman as well that is being perceived in the court of public opinion. And this is what we'll segue into the Megan Thee Stallion and the Tory Lanez case.
All right, here's my thing.
Now, please go ahead.
Tory already went to jail.
And he's been in jail.
So the people that are celebrating him getting stabbed,
sick.
Do you guys want him dead?
And there are some people that are dead, and I had to verify with them. And once I found that out,
once you find out they want him dead,
there's people that want people dead for like the smallest thing, bro.
So y'all want him dead?
Yes, there's people that want people
dead. The celebration of that I thought was wild because he got convicted.
And that's the thing that I think people are her. I think
they did a trial. He's in jail.
Yeah.
Bro, but the man's professing his innocence. Whether what you want to do, if he thinks he's innocent, or if he feels like I gotta believe he really think he's innocent.
Yeah.
But he had his day in court, and the court said no.
And the court, yeah.
Why am I gonna be mad at the guy's like? But I think I'm innocent.
Right.
I can't be mad at him for that.
Right.
You showed up. It's not like he ran. He didn't skip town.
No.
He paid his lawyer. He had his day in court. He lost. He's allowed an appeals process. Why am I mad at his appeals process?
Because
this whole thing it's becoming so hard to talk about because the two communities that are representing each side of the argument are getting so slimy.
It's so fringe. Yeah, it's very.
They're getting slimy.
There's no common sense middle. If you just look, it's either the extreme on one side or the extreme on the other.
I will say this. Niggas that hate women, and then the other side is that
only ride from Megan
that think that someone should die because of.
But I will say this, and you know this watching The Good Wife, it's going to be very hard for him to admit hearsay testimony from a security guard.
And that's the thing. You have to consider what that information...
It's not going to be grounds. He's not...
But in those things, don't you just need a little bit of something to reopen the case?
Apparently, there's a congresswoman. I think she's from Florida. That says she has
we've seen that in Good Wife. There'll be like this small little thing, and you have to just convince the judge that
testimony from a third party. I think you need... you have to corroborate it, I think, because she's not dead. She's going to refute the testimony immediately. I did not say that. What are you going to do?
Right.
If Kelsey continues to plead a fifth and he comes out, okay, maybe. But if she comes out with a statement or an affidavit, will you sign an affidavit he's lying? Yeah, he's lying. And then you get corroboration from her husband or boyfriend who she apparently said it to?
Yeah.
Can't reopen the case like that.
Yeah, but at this point, you're supposed to do anything and everything.
And there's a petition.
But then I agreed with, this is the one part I did agree with the Megan thing. Bro, if this is the case and this was always the case, you should have let him testify.
Yeah, I think, was it his team that didn't want to testify?
But they like to say that a lot of people like to say that you shouldn't testify, in your own,
because you're going to lose on cross, right? I agree.
But if
the answer is she shot it, I slapped it out of her hand, that is why there's not gun residue on my hand in that way.
Yeah,
I put you on the stand and I let you say that. The only time I don't let you say it is when it's ambiguous. That's not ambiguous.
Right.
She should, because if she has immunity, you know what I mean? Yeah, then
Kelsey has immunity, right?
Yeah, but I don't, so I have to testify.
No, I'm saying so she should say whatever if it's true.
And also, bro, if I'm let's say we start the trial, Terry, you're not testifying. Okay.
Yeah.
Kelsey gets up there and starts pleading the fifth. Terry, you're testifying.
Yeah.
The only person who can refute your testimony is not coming to play.
Yeah, that's so. And that's the.
And Meg already said, I don't think Meg was ever going to testify. I don't think she was on the witness list.
I don't know. I don't believe so.
Did she testify?
How many times was she even?
Wait.
No, she did.
She did testify.
She did testify.
Yeah.
Yes.
She did.
And did she testify to he shot me? I saw him shoot me? No.
She said she conveyed that information to the people at some point in some capacity.
Something that people are saying that's not true.
Let me read what she said. Let me read what she said in the TikTok versus after all this, after his petition. His petition for them to reopen was going viral and things like that. You know, Drake and people, prominent people in the industry.
Which they're allowed to do. Again, that's another thing. Bro, if you think the guy is innocent, you're allowed to ride for your opinion. Like, I don't know what's going on today with people where they're like, we're allowed to do this.
Because here's the thing, too.
Free speech means you can say what you want and then we live with the consequences of it. I'm allowed to say, I don't agree, and I agree. But why are you mad at people saying what they think?
And you have to consider also where she was shot, too. Because shooting at someone's feet, you cannot convince me that was an attempt to end my life. Because I think
I definitely can.
You can?
I shot at you.
Oh, so you just think if you shoot at then when cops shoot in a
terrible shot, and
then that's different.
I've used a gun before. You've been to a gun range, right? I've used a gun enough to know that once I let this thing go, I'm trying to hurt somebody.
Okay, well,
and I'm
then there should be more cops in jail.
And I'm accepting,
anyway,
I'm accepting that this thing is so powerful you might die. It's not 24 where I'm going to close my eye and ping a shot.
More cops should be in jail then. But anyway, let me read you what Meg said.
Okay, Mark Lamont Hill.
She said, at what point are y'all going to stop making me have to relive being shot by Tory? At what point are Tory and y'all fans going to stop lying? Like, how much is the check to keep harassing me? Why is this happening every day? 1 minute him/y'all said I was never shot, and now y'all let him play in y'all face again and say I was shot, but it wasn't him. Oh, okay. I'm sick of this shit. Leave me TF alone. He ain't dare get on that stand and deny he shot me. And that was his choice because he knows he did that shit, ! IDGAF about a blog or bot. Bottom. Why in the world would me, Megan V. Stallion, have to lie on that MF ABT shooting me? How y'all mad at the person that got shot? Facts are facts. He did it. It was proven in court. Fuck the hate campaign on the internet. Tory, you shot me. Ain't no fucking evidence. Y'all been saying the same shit for years. Tory, please leave me alone. You a fucking demon. I'm off this silly ass internet shit. Bye. This is a TikTok comment.
Yeah, I did see that. Just shows Megan Thee Stallion shows she has more growth.
You think it shows that she has more growth or she needs more growth?
Needs more growth.
Yeah, because here's my question that I would ask.
The man's allowed to appeal. He's allowed to want he's allowed to want to be out. The people who are harassing her because him appealing isn't why she sent that message.
No, and he's not even saying her name or even doing anything.
It's the people message.
And I keep telling you guys, it's the people that are ruining everything. People ruin everything. They ruin sports. They ruin movies. They ruin politics. They ruin fucking fashion. It's not these people. It's none of these guys. It's y'all niggas, man. The trolls and the commenters and the just annoying sacks of shit, bro. They're the ones. And then we go and get at these guys. It's not these guys.
Yeah, it's not Tory and it's not Meg either.
And she's getting twisted by these people. Yeah. And then those people, like, it's because it's annoying, honestly, to be honest.
There's so many places we can go with it, but the question that I would ask is,
what's the question? Because there's too many places to go with.
How long
until he gets
does
out?
She want him to go to jail? Like, how long do people want him to? I know people want him dead. And
he got sentenced to 10 years.
But
if I'm Megan, I want him to serve his
but
sentence.
there was 3 charges lauded against him, right? The gun, having the gun.
And he beat one of them, didn't he?
Was it having the gun? One is discharging.
He was sentenced to 10 years for whatever they got him for. Whatever they got him for, the sentence was 10 years. If I'm going to give the Megan perspective, okay?
And that's let's go.
I think he shot me. I'm going to believe that Megan actually believes that. I don't think she's lying. I'm not crazy opinion. I don't think she's lying. I think she's drunk on the night and probably doesn't really even know what happened, but definitely knows she got shot. And of what she remembered from the moment and the hostility and whatever was going on was like, yeah, this guy shot me.
Yeah, right.
That's what I'm on. I believe that she believes what she's saying.
Yeah.
I don't want you out. You've never admitted to shooting me. Serve your time. If you can't prove that he never did that and he's never remorseful, leave him in there. For him to come out, you gotta prove it.
But he's not in jail for shooting her.
He's in jail for reckless discharge. He's in jail for reckless discharge of a firearm. Yeah. Okay? I'm the victim of that reckless discharge. He shot me.
I know, but
prove he never did that.
Right. Now, I want to make sure because I wrote down the exact charges that were.
He don't have to be in there for 10 years, though.
That's the sentence.
No, but people don't. People don't. Yeah, but
it's what the judge said.
But people don't have to stay in for.
But yes, but you have to admit you were wrong.
Well, the jury does that, right? Or the judge does that.
Can you get out on good behavior? Do you know that when you go? I've never been to jail, but when you go and you're like, hey, I remember Shawshank.
Never been to
but
jail.
They say, yo,
you have to say I was wrong. And I'm happy.
Oh, did he never do that thing at the end where the person they accuse of that they say
the victim statement? No, because he said I didn't do this.
Okay, so he went down as saying I didn't do this. Like,
yes.
Okay. That's I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay, that's fair. So here, hold on. Let me get this. Let me get this exactly.
I don't know what to tell you guys.
If he pled guilty and there was like a 10 years, 5 years on good behavior, and he had pled guilty, yeah.
Then you feel like, okay.
And he's in there chilling, get him out and
because he's saying, okay.
You can't go to jail. Keep saying, I never did. You got to prove it then. If you want out, you got to prove it. That's how our system works.
I know, but
right.
Time will tell.
Now, granted,
so
obviously prison safety is not what any of us want it to be, bro.
As you can see.
So the 3 charges that were lauded against him was assault with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying a loaded and registered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. So
you got to prove he didn't do that.
Well, based on these three things, if he didn't assault her with a semi-automatic weapon, but he carried a loaded and registered firearm in the vehicle, that's because it was his, right? That's the so that's his. So
he can get
he has to wear. He has to wear that.
Apparently,
one.
the blicky was his, right? The gun was his. Or was it Kelsey's?
No, I think it was hit because wasn't he the one driving the vehicle?
Yeah, the security guard driving the car.
Okay. But I think it was under his name, but apparently he wasn't allowed to have it in LA or whatever it was. And then the three, discharging a firearm with gross negligence. So if he has 3 charges and it gives him 10 years, then 2 of these things he didn't do.
Yeah. Then
how many years does he do?
2, 3.
No, guys, that's why you have appeals courts.
And unless he has enough evidence to get that.
And that's what I'm saying. We've watched The Good Wife. Sometimes you need a slither of a reason to get it reopened.
But every time you've seen The Good Wife, right? It's never been the security guard talking. It's been actual new evidence.
No, but I saw one where
they need to test the gun.
They had to convince there was one that was
footage.
There was one that was a slither of a possibility, and it was more convincing the judge that it was even remotely something to look into, and they tugged at the heartstrings and they said, you know what?
Yeah, but that was I remember the episode you're talking about. It was in pursuit of acquiring new evidence.
For happiness.
So it wasn't, I can't bring a guy. This is a security guard.
That went missing.
No. Yeah, because they were looking for.
Remember, there was a time they couldn't find him.
They were trying to get him. Remember, and he was nowhere to be found, or whatever it was.
And why was he MIA? Like, someone explain that to me then.
Yeah. These are the missing questions.
I hate to sound not grounds for an appeal.
Right. And that's would be up to the judge to decide.
At the time, if you felt upset that we couldn't find this guy, and at the time, if you felt upset that DNA wasn't tested, your attorney at the time should have been filing the appropriate motions.
And he said he had bad.
We watched.
You're not. You know what's crazy? You're not allowed to use that as grounds of an appeal.
I didn't know that.
I can't use my lawyer was bad. You hired him.
But we've also seen
you need to show gross legal negligence.
We saw in Good Wife.
It's gotta be nasty.
We've seen Good Wife where someone goes to jail, they fire their lawyer.
Yes, get a new lawyer,
and they find a slither of a reason to get a repeal.
But it's got to be
the appeal isn't the last guy sucked. Give me a shot.
No, right.
But now that guy knows better than the guy you had before, and maybe they're like, yo, they didn't even try this little thing, and they're like, oh shit.
I always thought him not testifying. Tory was doing.
Was that 3:00? Oh no, 2:30. 2:30.
Tory did albums. Tory did entire albums. Him not testifying was stupid. Then, if Tory's contention is I never actually pulled the trigger of that gun, then test me. He didn't remember whether that was the case or not.
They all were drunk.
You know, they sat down and said, Tory, did you slap the gun or grab the gun? And when you grabbed the gun, did you shoot anything? Because Tory, if you didn't hold and grip and pull and squeeze, we can test for it. Yeah. Whatever he told them made them say, okay, let's not.
Right. But I thought you said they did test on him, and
it was inconclusive,
and he didn't have. And it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a.
And the problem with GSR is you have to test for it on the day.
See,
so it's already inaccurate. Oh, fuck. But we will be definitely watching. We'll be watching that because it's interesting.
And like have a speedy recovery if that's what's going on.
Well, he did got stabbed 14 times.
What is that official?
That's not official.
But the amount of times is not official, or him getting stabbed is not official.
Bro, because their official report was that it wasn't life threatening. Tory came out on Instagram and said, "I almost died."
Yeah, but you can feel like you almost died, even
said his 2 lungs collapsed.
I know that's you could feel.
But if your 2 lungs collapse and then you're put on a ventilator to help you breathe, then is it going to feel that life threatening if you were?
I haven't heard the 14 stabs.
That's what I'm saying. I said what we know for a fact is he was stabbed. That's what I'm saying. All we know for a fact he was stabbed. So I'm saying speedy recovery to the fact that he was stabbed.
Yeah,
we don't know how many.
Yo, how do you punish a guy who's already on death row or who's already in there for life?
Yeah, the guy who stabbed it. Yeah, they said he was. Anyway, he was brought by.
I hate to judge a book by its cover, but I saw the picture. I'm like, yo, he stabbed him.
Well, that's
listen. I don't know,
bro. If I saw that guy, like, there's 2 things that scare me in life:
commitment and
no, teenagers and guys who look like that.
Okay, I got you. Like,
to this day, if I see a pack of teenagers, I kind of get scared because I think teenagers are so impressionable, but they're strong. Yeah, so just one person in the group, let's kill him.
Yeah, then if he's the leader of the group,
I was jogging 2 days ago by myself in a pathway right down that path, and I had to run through a group of like
teenagers,
10 of them.
Yeah,
and I'm like, as I'm running, I'm like, I see 10. but because I run for a minute and then I walk for a minute, right?
Yeah.
So by the time I'm getting closer and I'm like, yo, I'm about to have to stop before them.
Oh my god!
But then you know what?
Finish the run.
Yeah,
But you know what? I slowed down.
Really?
Because you know what? I don't want to get I don't want to get tripped or like not be aware of what's going on. So I slowed down and they did a jog through them so I could be aware, yo.
Teenagers to see every nigga.
Yeah, they were smoking. They were
teenagers
smoking.
Who loiter as well.
They were smoking. They had music on. I'm like, yo, I'm like, listen, you gotta be ready.
Because like, what are you guys doing outside right now? Like teenagers who loiter are so scary. I know you guys don't have money. You're just here, and it's a group of you guys.
They're bored.
It's just bored. It's boredom is the curiosity is what killed the kid.
Killed the pussycat.
I do want to say this. I want to say shout out because we were saying a bunch of negative stuff for the last.
Enough of this.
I want to say shout out to these women. Brandy is going on a tour,
with
the
Monica.
Boys Mind tour.
Yeah, Brandy's going with Monica.
Brandy
with Monica,
Money Long, and Kelly Rowland.
Okay, they added Kelly now. Wait, there was somebody else though.
Was there? No, there's somebody else. Don't tell me who it was.
I can't remember.
No, who was?
I didn't know Kelly Rowland was on it.
She's on it. So this is
Kelly been staying on the road.
Kelly Rowland. She's rolling. Like I think
it's a genius. I think it's a genius thing.
Absolutely, because what you're getting.
Monica.
Genius. You're getting that style and brand of R&B excellence.
Genius.
Every single person here can really blow.
You need to give it up.
Chops.
Had about enough.
I know a lot of people were like, "Yo, they've been going to the Beyonce one, and no, we're gonna have to go to this." Like this is so. Shout out to them for doing that. These are one of those things that people put together that you thought of. You're like, yo, why don't they just go on tour?
Yeah,
like you ever just put up your dream tour idea?
I always say that shit. I'm like, yo,
right? And they finally listen. It's like they listen to the internet or whatever. But shout out to them for sure. That would definitely be dope. I
love that song.
Oh yeah, The Boys Man. Yeah, that's it. And shout out Ariana Grande for doing that song
and bringing them in,
and then bringing them in for that remix. She didn't have to do that.
See, those are the things that I would tell these people to do.
See, these are the things that you would tell people to do, but you don't know if they're going to do it because you don't know if they see the value in it.
How big would the music industry be if it was managed by the writers of the WWE for 3 years?
It would be unbelievable.
Yo.
It would be, hip hop would be, hip hop itself.
Hip hop alone, managed by the writers of the WWE for 3 years?
Out of here.
Have you been following this hip hop battle that's kind of emerged?
Oh, Joey Badass?
Yeah. So there's a lot going on. There's too many records.
Unique.
Because I only said it because of what you said, because that leads right into it. So the genesis of even how this thing started was
Sega.
They had the Red Bull freestyle, right? And shout out Red Bull too. Sometimes you got to take these niggas that have
Sign me,
right, and just drop and jump in. They dropped that freestyle with Joey Badass, with Big Sean. And with Absol, yo,
why does Big Sean?
Why does Big Sean keep finding himself in these situations?
Big Sean.
I'll tell you why.
Yo, Big Sean is trying to make music.
Yo, he keeps putting himself into situations where
Big Sean needs quality control on like everything that's happening.
Okay. It's not his fault.
Did he need to be signed to QC? Like, what are you saying?
Big Sean be showing up being like, yo, we just gonna chill, right?
It's not his fault, man. Listen, there's nothing you can do about it. As long as he comes and he smoked it.
Yeah, he did
so
well.
There's nothing else we can do about it. If life happens,
wasn't Big Sean on Control as well?
That's what I'm saying. This is a reoccurring theme.
Control was his record.
Yeah, it was his record. It was actually his.
He's always funny. He's like, I was never gonna stop. I still remember I was never gonna stop it. I mean, if that's what he wanted to do with it. That's what he wanted to. No, Big Sean, you should have told him, go change this.
But see, that one I'm okay with.
Big Sean's right. My album. Big Sean's will never get the podcast crossover of Drake and Kendrick, which is the biggest one on the planet. That would be the largest one. That's the one that the WWE writers would put together.
And that's already what I thought of. That's but you're absolutely right that the WWE was handling this because after they did that freestyle and Joey Badass pretty much calls out the West Coast effectively, then you have a bunch of TDE members and affiliates who have since responded. You have Daylight, who's dropped like 3 records. You have Rayvon. You have Jay Hitta, who's on Kendrick's album.
I feel like Badass dropped again though. He dropped like
he did. He dropped one today.
Like almost two within.
I fuck with Joey.
Here's the thing,
and of course I would.
And here's the thing that these Americans don't understand. We have the proximity effect. We are riding with New York. I don't know what to tell you, people. We're not just doing it because we like Drake.
That's not the case, though?
Yeah, because they think that it's just because the West Coast and the TDE side of things is anti-Drake. No, I know, but they're not considering the proximity. They're just thinking because Drake had beef with Kendrick that we're just going to side with New York off of that.
No, we instead of New York because it's been
proximity. That's been a thing. There's been a connection for a long time.
I don't know how to tell you guys. Like, let me tell you guys something.
We said we were acting like we were from New York.
Let me tell you something.
Caribbean time.
We have our own team, right? But when the Knicks win,
right,
I feel good inside.
Oh, bro, if the Knicks go to the finals, I'm going to New York.
I don't even like.
Not for
it's
a game.
Not my team.
Not for a game.
Just to be around.
To be in New York.
I feel so
getting the
proud
chopped
of
cheese
them.
outside Madison Square Garden. Knicks.
Listen, I already said it.
If it's swearing for no reason.
If it's not OKC, because I want Shea, because it's Canada first on that.
Also MVP.
If
locked.
it's MVP, if it's not OKC, I want it to be New York.
Actually, 1,000%.
Well, sometimes I do want it to be Pacers though, because I fuck with Siakam, and that's still a rapper.
But no, we can move over to that. But there's a lot of
shout out Joey.
To be honest, the percentage of
dropping
LA
records and then being in a hit TV show at the same time, that's wild. That's the type of shit I love.
You know, Ray Vaughn was kind of was trying to bring up.
He's sick.
I know, but he's bringing up things like sales and hits, and it's like you are not the person to be bringing that up to Joey. Joey Badass has arguably a classic with the 1999 mixtape.
That's definitely a classic.
He has been doing music and at a high level. I don't care if he never got the accolades or the sales and this and that, but it's like you who have less than the other person, you can't bring up that as your point of contention. I just think that's very tongue in cheek. And the argument is, they're like the same age and Joey Badass has been in it longer or whatever. So it's like, you've had longer time. But it's like, if you don't have more than him, you're not in a position to use that as a thing. And also, this battle has also let me know that the West Coast, if you listen to a lot of their records, they all sound like they're doing the Kendrick flow and beat from Not Like Us and from Peekaboo.
Is it Kendrick's flow now?
Well, I know because people did it before him.
No,
like,
I don't know,
what's his name?
I don't know what's anybody.
What's his name? What's the man that passed? That Drake did songs with. Do you think I want me? Yeah. He was one of the first people to really put that flow on. But a lot of Daylight. I know he's a battle rapper, and I know he says a lot of clever things. But a lot of his, it was to the point where they're like, is anybody recording this nigga in the booth, or is he just pressing record and going? Because it sounds
some people
like bad.
Some people just go. Some people go record by themselves.
No, for sure. No, but you got to get it mixed and mastered by somebody. And I know it makes it sound like we're getting away from. Okay, is the battle about how great the record sounds, or is it about what's being said?
It should be.
But unfortunately, the Drake and Kendrick battle changed that because you guys said Kendrick's side said. These are not official if it's not on Spotify, if it's not, ready for retail release. So now we have to look at everything under that guise. If it's mixing, so this is not the 90s and the 2000s where you could jump on the radio as Jadakiss and Beans and just drop. And it's like, and just drop bombs on these niggas' heads.
On one LP.
Right?
You can't do that anymore.
Because it's now, everything's being judged. You know what? I'll argue. Drake also changed that too when he did back-to-back because it was such a great record. So it changed the format of what a diss record, even though you could argue Tupac really started with Hit 'Em Up. But the bums that came after him, and shout out to them because I like the Outlaws, but the argument is that he came with Flames and then they just brought the energy down. I don't think so, but
second round knockout.
That's that
second round knockout with the video and the Mike Tyson audio clip.
Right.
And Cannabis, man, you dig, right? Oh my gosh.
Listen.
So I'm gonna let the world know the truth. Oh, come on, bro.
Cannabis.
Copy my rhymes. So you can lay your vocals after mine. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Something that Oh, Cannabis.
Yeah. That was the LL Cool J joint, right? Is that who's Cannabis was facing at the time?
Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, exactly. So
stick up for your Vanguard Award in front of your mom, your first, second, and third born. Make your wife get on the horn, call Minister Farrakhan. Come on, man.
Okay, you
come
remember
on,
that shit?
Man.
I like that. No, I fuck with that.
Cannabis.
What's it called? The only thing I'll also say is that when Joey Badass diss Ray Vaughn, because a lot of what those West Coast niggas are saying, they keep bringing up that Joey Badass is New York. He's popular, so he's obviously been to a couple of parties by the aforementioned Diddy.
Bro, the trial is not proving to me that any of these Diddy parties is where this stuff was going on.
It's the after parties.
It seemed like they was doing it on the other days.
Yeah, a different day. Yeah,
because Cassie said she was in there for 36 to 4 hours. There was no party going on.
Yeah, no,
right?
No, come on.
Sorry,
there was overhead.
I'm sorry to bring this back, but before we finish this,
different day.
I just think it was crazy when Cassie said, like, when do you want to do this? And Diddy just said, like, his calendar was, like, open. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm not trying to laugh and make this funny, but it's like, you think about Diddy and all the businesses he runs and all the things he does, and he was open to have a 4 or 5 hour block open for a freak up. That is fucking insane. That's how much he needed. What?
Delegate me.
Then they need to put his scheduler on the trial, on the stand. But anyway,
you never heard a guy say, "Hold my calls, Miriam"?
You know what?
I can see him leaving somewhere at 45th and Lennox. Hey, hold my calls.
I didn't want to bring it up as a funny, but I just thought, but that, I don't know why that stuck out to me, because that just means he would drop anything.
Couldn't imagine a man having a 5 hour carve out time.
Because he's just thinking Diddy's so busy and he's always everywhere.
And he's always talking about excellence, perfection, and all these things.
Remember Diddy?
But also Diddy don't sleep. So
he doesn't sleep. Yeah, he doesn't sleep.
He gets an extra 8 hours.
Yo, that's the key. He don't sleep. Because remember, every time we watch like someone's studio session, it's like somehow it'll be like the random person, and Diddy's at that session.
And he's there.
Banging, listening.
How is he here? And he's listening to this guy's song, that song, this song. It's all over the country. I'm like, wait, how? How? Like, how's he there?
Here's the thing. He's
really, like Common. How Common's at every event.
I'm really upset that Diddy's a woman beater.
It's really unfortunate.
I'm really upset.
It's really unfortunate
because
it hurts.
There is a lot of hard work acumen,
of course,
that Diddy represented from the generation that I was in.
We seen it in front of us.
For him to be, bro, like knowing what he is like now,
yes,
and then rewatching that season 1 of Making the Band, yo, this guy's abusive.
God. Yo, it all starts to make sense. That video when he's like, I got to have it, like I need it, when he was in the office. Now I look at that absolutely differently. Like he was thinking about that for like everything, not just like business success.
Now my new favorite clip, because like obviously I can't like the Diddy ones, is when
Dylon?
It's not Dylon. My new favorite one is
when he had them singing Battle.
Nah, when Dame Dash pulled up on Rockefeller saying, "Who's having conversations about Jay-Z?"
Yes. That was the day when they
walking around the boardroom because they called the meeting without him.
Yes,
and nobody wanted to talk. Was there? You said
no. It was his favorite label.
I love that.
My favorite record when
they're pushing Dame out.
Y'all trying to have a meeting about Jay-Z without me?
Yeah,
just walking around.
I remember watching that at like 3-4 in the morning, like just watching like and having this eerie feeling.
But like, go ahead, talk.
But the funny thing,
and they're trying to,
one dude like packed up his laptop. Where you going?
But the funny thing was, I just wanted to finish on the Joey Badass thing, is that in Joey Badass's latest disc, which samples Take Money, and it sounds really well, really done.
Thing is on it, loaded on that song.
I think that's the one. I think that was the previous one. So this wasn't his by himself. He says, "Yeah, I was at the Diddy party, but I saw Top Dog there."
Oh, I didn't hear.
So now what? So now,
that's why people gotta like watch certain things because it's like, all right,
should have checked with the team.
I'm gonna tell you over there, because if you say this, I'm gonna. Your man was there. You know what I mean? It's like, like, don't call someone this.
Let me tell you this. 2 weeks ago, when people were finding out about the Diddy stuff and everything, different fan bases were like, "Oh, my fave wasn't there."
Yeah.
And you know what someone put under the comments?
They're all there.
A picture of their fave with Diddy.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest.
All the Trump supporters, Glazers, who were like, "Oh, he don't know me." There's 20 pictures I have.
Let me talk to most of you guys online.
Yeah, please, before we go to
Let me tell you, if there's one black guy in the industry,
one black guy,
if there's one celebrity that most likely between 95 and 99% has been around or in a picture or video with that person,
it is
in politics, in religion, in sports, in fashion, in young, in old, in different countries, whatever you want to call it. If there's one person, rich and poor, streets, singing, rap, I don't care what it is. Actors, the most obscure to the most popular. The person that's around them is Diddy.
Sorry. Diddy, my cousin. Kendrick Lamar said that in the song. So all you Glazers of Kendrick only, they're like, yo, this is all Drake stuff.
Yeah, Diddy, my cousin.
Yo, to be honest, Drake is the only one. But Drake is the only one.
Didn't Diddy pee on Drake?
No,
that was T.I.'s friend. Anyway, in a movie theater. But the 3 p.m. in Calabasas, the 3 p.m. in Calabasas where Drake,
and Diddy apologized. Drake, I don't want no smoke. Yes. Sorry.
But Drake is almost the first one that really jumped out the window against Diddy on a record, really, because he's pretty much poking fun at Diddy for that entire record.
When did he grab the mic from Diddy at the show and then start rapping when the mic? When the show was
that's
was
right.
that before the beef or after that Calabasas thing?
It was before. I think it was before.
But you remember that video?
Yeah.
Where he grabbed it very aggressively. Like I remember that.
Yeah. No.
And I was like, damn, that's Diddy. Like I remember looking at it like, damn, you grabbed it from Diddy like that. That's crazy.
Because you know the whole beef of him wanting Drake dead, and the 0 to 100 real quick beat.
Oh yeah, because it was the
fuck being on some trail shit. It's fucking crazy. So we touched on. Look, there's a game going on right now.
Pause.
There's two
Yes.
games. There's two. The final
OKC
the final
is
four.
the only thing we want.
So your predictions and your desires. We'll go with that. What is your prediction?
OKC Shea, take them out. Taking out Minnesota, taking all that shit out. Mm-hmm. They said Ant is the
new face.
Is the legend killer.
Yes.
No, not to Shea. No, I won't allow it. You can. He took out. What is it? He took out Durant. He took out LeBron. He took out Luka. He took out Steph. No, you're not taking out the Canadian flag. No.
I saw a game in the last series where I think it was Ant went like the whole first half, didn't take a shot.
Yep.
You can't have for me.
I know.
I'm coming off the LeBron era.
That's what I'm saying. Wait, enough. That's what I'm saying.
I'm coming off the LeBron era.
It's enough.
So I'm not used to that guy after a certain point having misses like that.
Correct.
I've seen Curry have misses like that. I've seen James Harden have misses like that.
Yep.
Seen Paul George have misses like that.
I've seen Joker.
I've seen Kawhi have misses like that.
I've seen Joker have misses like that.
I've seen Joker have bad games. Misses like that in terms of, we needed you and you didn't show up.
Yes.
I can count the LeBron not show up in playoff moment. The entire Dallas series is one. Mm-hmm. The entire Dallas series is one when he was with Miami.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's it.
Yo,
did I ask? Remember I asked you the other day? Do you know how many playoff games LeBron has missed being in the playoffs?
Oh, since he's been in the playoffs.
None.
He's never missed a playoff game.
He's never missed a playoff game.
I play
That's fucking insane.
I play in these. He's played hurt.
Yeah, he played continuous.
Even when Orlando beat them, he didn't have a great season against Orlando. He had like a meniscus tear in his knee.
And he was playing.
Remember when he hit the 3 over Turkoglu, the one game that they won and they got jumped? Bro, he had to repair his meniscus like the day after.
Do you know in the last 7 years, I think 7-8 years, no team that has won the championship. This is why I'm trying to tell you guys the NBA is different now.
Right.
No team, when they won the championship, the next year, even past the second round.
Wait. In the history of the NBA, or like after a certain?
No, in the last 7-8 years.
Wow, so
the
last
new
decade. We'll
NBA,
call it the decade.
The new times. Anybody who has won the championship,
you don't get past the second round the year after.
They don't get past the second round. Some don't even get past the first. Every single one of them.
That's not so. Sorry, is that? Yeah, that is true. Holy smokes!
And do you know that if Shea wins the ring this time and gets the MVP, he's the first player to have the MVP in the same season as winning championship since LeBron did a long time ago.
2000. That probably is 2000.
Oh my God.
It's been a long time since the Jordan wins the MVP and wins the championship. LeBron wins the MVP. Like, since LeBron, it's never happened again.
Yeah.
No Joker. People tried to argue me the other day that it was Joker. The Joker didn't do it. Giannis didn't do it.
Joker didn't win the MVP that year that he won the title?
No. Joel did.
He did.
Oh, my God.
Nobody. Remember, Westbrook won the ring. Won the champion. Won the MVP.
We all know Westbrook didn't win the titles.
I know. I'm just saying he won MVP. He was sixth. Harden won. He flames on the playoffs. Nobody that's won an MVP has won the championship.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
So that is insane.
So yeah, it's a different.
So who do you want? You want OKC?
100% OKC. 100%.
Yeah,
I will feel good. I want anybody. To be honest, if you say this I want any of them. Besides Minnesota, if you give me the
that's
choice.
really yeah. Because
if you give me the
every other team, want Minnesota.
Because every other
those
team,
three, not in general. Like
there's something I can take from.
No, of the other three, I'm saying.
Pacers, I can take something positive from.
Like there's a positive for me for all of those.
You just don't want to see Ant win
over those guys. No, if he was against, if the finals was Minnesota versus Celtics, it's Ant-Man for me.
I do want to say that. I do want to say that Knicks Timberwolves because of the trade would be a crazy storyline.
It would be great.
That is okay.
But I'll also say that Shea in the finals in New York.
Oh my God!
On the stage of Madison Square Garden.
Oh my God!
Because you know how they love Madison Square Garden.
All superstars go crazy in Madison Square Garden.
And like just the idea that he could have he'd be immortalized. If he had like
he would be immortalized.
a 40 plus,
my God,
like game winner in Madison Square Garden on the way to winning a title.
Shea beat New York in the finals. Go 35-40 plus. The whole series, win the MVP of the regular season, win the MVP of the finals.
Yeah.
With like nasty step back, the highlight reel would be
and close out the Knicks in New York. Oh,
that's
my face of the league.
Like an OKC and 6 type of thing.
Undisputed. Yeah.
Making guys down. Like you have to like cross somebody up, step back, and you know you don't give no facial expression. Look at the crowd.
Yeah, I hate that you did this look.
You know, the side top New York would be like, hey, yo, shot something. You know what I'm saying? They be going crazy. They give him the Trae Young treatment, but he wins.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? You said the thing about if WWE wrote for other things, like for in music. Yeah. Well, WWE wrote for
No, that's what, yes. Triple H
wrote that.
Yeah, he
last year,
yes.
he wrote fucking Pacers, Knicks.
Yes.
They took Brunson and he took Halliburton. He put them in the ring and they were beefing last year this time.
Yep. So now Triple H is even saying like his phone has been ringing off the hook because like, yo, you guys really cooked with this shit.
They were beefing.
Yeah. He called it. He's like, yo. He said all leagues are looking for him now to create storylines for them.
I was watching Raw yesterday while I was working out.
Yeah.
Halliburton is now in WWE.
He's in 2K. He's in a new 2K.
He's a playable
character. This is insane.
I'm like, wait.
The crossovers that we're talking about is just insane.
That's what I'm saying. Crossover, man. You guys got to learn the crossover.
You got to learn the crossover. Not just the AI crossover, but like
dope. It just makes everything dope.
Yeah.
It's dope.
Yeah.
I like OKC New York final. I'm not at a point where I want it because, you know, injuries can happen. Obviously, to Jason Tatum. That was hard to see. I knew as soon as he took the step.
You need to write it right
non-contact, and it's after a step. Ever since the Kobe, I know what that is.
Yeah.
But also, 2-0 said they weren't winning no matter what.
Okay. But can we just acknowledge this?
No, I'm just saying 2-0.
I understand.
Going to Boston and winning like that's never been done.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
So it was done.
Do you remember when Boston got down 3-0 on Miami and brought it to Game 7?
And lost?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's different. That's different than 2-0.
But I'm just saying, if
anybody could have done it, it would have been them. Let's not say it was over at 2-0.
Right.
It was over.
Especially with the way they play.
That's what I'm talking about. See, I talk about heart all the time. Just like as you watch you Toronto Maple Leafs,
the Leafs,
pathetic.
Game 7 blowouts should be illegal in any sport. It really fucking pisses me off.
We talked about that. We said by halftime or any halftime of any game, if you force a Game 7 and you show no heart in the first half, they should cancel.
There should be a mercy killing because why did you waste their time like that? Why did you? Game 7s aren't even scheduled because they're if needed. So why did you let it go to this point?
It literally says in brackets
to do that because
it was actually depressing. It was that
when
was
you talk about hockey. Right? Because this is not basketball where, you know, they're scoring every turn. It's like they scored really early. They
scored quick.
No.
They set the
in
tone.
Game 7, it was nothing at the end. I was watching.
Too.
Please enlighten me.
Nothing at the end of the first period.
Yep.
They were putting up a good fight for about 4 to 6 minutes.
Yep.
And then throughout a 6-minute period of time, they absolutely imploded. It was 1, 2, 3. And there was a fourth goal that they disallowed. And when the camera panned to the coach to say, hey,
they said that's a
you
goal.
Want to challenge it?
He didn't.
He just didn't because
because he knew he lost.
Right. He was looking at not him. I'm talking about the coach in Florida.
Yeah.
Because they disallowed the goal and the coach in Florida looks at the replay.
Okay.
And everybody can tell that's a goal. It should be 4-0.
He
looked around.
Mercy.
Because
he looked around and he probably knows what it means.
Oh my fucking God.
It's fine.
We'll do it. We'll do it next. We'll do it.
Do you know how much confidence you have to do that?
They beat them. Think of it poetically. 6-1 in the 6.
It's crazy. I'm telling you, I know.
Drake said it's a Bieber curse. Bieber was there.
6-1 in the 6.
In the 6.
And, bro, you know what hurts? They had a chance in Game 5.
Yep. And they shit the bed.
5-0. They go to Florida, have a shutout, 2-0, bring it back home, bro. Hype. 6-1.
0 heart.
That's not a game 7.
But that's what I'm just trying to tell you.
You could have done that 2 games ago. If you were gonna do that, you should do that 2 games ago.
I watched. There was no heart, bro.
Literally passes.
When Matthews scored, literally 45 to 55 seconds later, they scored immediately right after that. Like it was that quick.
Bro, it was like disrespectful. Like how dare you?
It was a
what we were trying to do to y'all?
Yeah.
You know what we were trying to do to y'all? Like we sorting y'all out. Get out of here. And
open goalies, goal. Like they scored every way possible.
I don't deserve this.
No. And what do you think about people saying that we should the fan base should be more rude?
They should
be.
But wait. Can I give you a stat? first?
Okay, give me the stat.
Yo, they are 0-9, 0-7, 0-9 in Game 7 games.
Oh, so they don't win. So this is in their DNA. It's in their DNA.
It's our most important Game 7.
They don't win any Game 7s ever.
Another 7, a 6 and a 7.
No, they don't win no Game 7s.
I think when I look at fandom of others, because I love sport, I'm an international sports fan.
Yeah, international.
I look at fans in Manchester United and how they slate the players.
Yeah, they just
slate the players,
destroy them.
When I look at we're talking about the Knicks.
They destroy them. They destroy the owners. They destroy the coaches. And they destroy the reporters. To be honest, they destroy everybody.
It's not fair, but I think that's part of it. I think you need.
Remember the Lakers when they got mad at Kobe? Kobe's like, I gotta get out of here, bro.
Yeah, he's like, he's like,
Kobe wants to go to Charlotte. Get me out of here.
They almost traded to the Bulls,
bro. Slating.
I think,
bro, we're here. We call these men heroes, man.
And that's a problem.
It's
coddling.
I think there was one man who got robbed the other day. Somebody returned his shit. Like,
yeah,
kind of loud. It's still more.
I think the culture of that has to change, or that's what you're.
I'm done with the boys' tried. These guys are paid multiple millions of dollars.
Yo, there's a montage of Matthews talking.
You need to work, and follow the. Because my thing is, you're better than 6-1.
That's
what I mean.
It's Game 7.
I said the heart. There's a montage going on right now. Matthews saying the same thing from like 20. I think around the first or second year of his professional till now, and saying the same thing. We just gotta, we gotta work like the exact same.
You don't care.
Well, that's the media training of a hockey player, right? I'm sure in their locker room, I'm sure they're talking different.
I know, but it's like sometimes somebody.
And also, okay, to be fair,
fuck all that.
Stolar's the starting goaltender got a concussion in Game 1. Yeah, didn't know who he was.
Okay,
for the next 2 weeks. And
without a good goalie,
what about last year?
You got hit in the head. He was vomiting. You know what I mean?
What about last year?
I don't know what
the year before.
Bro, you know what?
There you go.
You know what? Do you know when I realized that, like, this is going to be my adult? Like, do you remember when James Reimer gave it away against the Boston Bruins when we were up? I think it was 3-1 with like 6 minutes to go in Game 7.
What year is this?
James Reimer and Phil Kessel would be.
Okay.
Yeah. Bro,
it couldn't have been that long ago.
They haven't been
inside of.
They haven't been the Final Four in forever, bro. They don't go to the Final Four. They literally they don't even go to the final. Forget the Stanley Cup. Yeah. They don't even go to the Final Four.
You know what? So that's a good.
At least the Raptors went to the Final Four when they even the times when they kept failing, they would be in Final Four.
Yeah.
We haven't won a Game 7 since 2004.
Yes, that was the number. So
since Vince Carter played on the Raptors,
and that's an insane stat. That's because you're talking about like almost 20 years. So here's what I'll say:
we lost 7 Game 7 opportunities.
Yeah, 7.
So hockey is predominantly white. Obviously, the Leafs are all white.
The black guy scored on the fucking.
There you go. That's when he niggas.
What's his name? Nice though, Seth Jones.
When the niggas scored, that's
he used to be a ball player.
Twice. Yeah. His dad played in Dallas Mavericks.
Right.
Was it Dallas or Denver?
Both. I think it's both.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys this:
6'5" or 6'5" on the ice. I'm like, wait.
So
why are you on?
So I think the problem. I think the problem is that these guys don't think that they're the main nigga. Like they don't think they the shit. So here's this thing that was going viral, and this is the question. It goes
viral.
What's the white way of saying I'm that nigga?
I'm him.
Okay, so I'm him. Okay, here, let me read you something. You can add it something.
Because Austin Matthews.
Let me tell you something.
Austin why I always say Reeves? Yeah, Rivers. Oh. Austin Rivers says I'm him. I'm him.
Yeah, so I'm him is one of them. This one says I'm just built different.
Yeah, built different.
Built different.
I'm just a freak of nature.
Nah, I haven't heard that.
Never heard that one.
Look here, buddy. I'm a force to be reckoned with.
Nobody says that.
I'm that dude. I'm Himothy.
Yeah, I've heard Himothy. But Austin said that too.
You've heard Himothy?
Yeah, Himothy from Austin.
Yo, this one's good. Wow. You and what army?
yeah. You in what army, buddy?
During a sporting contest?
But let's just say in general, just the white version of
I'm that different nigga. And I'm him.
But there's many. Here's one
that I've heard. I'm not putting ones I've never heard.
No. But if you've heard it and you know that's what
army, buddy.
I've never heard there's a new sheriff in town.
Oh, that's in movies. I've heard that before. That's in movies. There's a new sheriff in town. Hold on. Yeah, that's a good one.
I've heard that
one. Oh yeah, Himothy. Yeah, Himothy is a lot of them. You're looking at him, pal.
Oh, that's
I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
Wait, y'all eat pieces of shit?
Oh man. Okay. Kanye. Yo, I'm gonna say this. We're gonna end on Kanye.
Yeah. Kanye is ending on Kanye at this point.
Right. I just
don't get it.
Medication.
Oh, okay, then fine.
It's got at this point. I'm not allowing anybody to tell me he's not.
He's not taking the medication. Obviously,
man.
He's in need of it.
Yo, Ye is still one of my favorites ever because I have the albums.
But how long can you say he made My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy?
Anytime I put it on,
bro, because we still give Michael Jackson credit for Thriller.
I don't know what he's doing.
Wait, what the?
I don't know what's going on, but I'm just.
What the fuck?
Because there's nothing that Michael Jackson has done that is comparable to the.
No, but in terms of before it was adjudicated, how he was with the children accusations.
He didn't do anything.
Nobody took away the credit.
He didn't do anything.
I'm saying before he was adjudicated.
No, I understand Judas.
No, don't bring Michael Jackson fucking the greatest ever.
All right.
Yeah.
That nigga had people go to the hospital because they're fucking watching him and they.
South Korea.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
Was it South Korea? They recently said, we're canceling Kanye's concert because of its recent controversies. Here's my question: what recent ones are they talking about? Because this has been going on for a long time, and they were like, no, we still doing a show. And then there's a recent one where they're like, no.
I've never seen footage. I can't talk about Kanye. I've never seen footage like Michael Jackson Dangerous. When he comes up and he's just standing there.
I know. Just that's the him and
I saw the one video where the sound guys trying to talk to Michael.
Drop it, and he's waiting.
No, that's because they know that they go on as one. As soon as he moves,
he said, "Drop it on my movement." So
yes.
Michael,
come on, Michael.
Come on,
Michael. Nah, do it, Michael. Do it.
Go ahead, Michael.
And you know what?
No, nigga.
That is a great thing that people don't do.
What I fucking want to do,
which is to have so much intense pressure.
You know who learned that?
Who?
The Rock.
He does. Yes.
Yo, because you just stay there. Oh Lord.
Because you used to do that as a kid.
Yes. You're feeling and the intensity of the moment. You're not moving ahead.
And that's why that's why when he comes in and goes like this,
to check his goosebumps.
You actually literally see his fucking goosebumps go.
Because sometimes you gotta just be in the moment. Because
feel the moment, man.
Because it's gonna pass. It's gonna go by quickly. Nigga. So you have to. So Michael Jackson really mastered that. He's like, yo, I'm him. I've been performing since fucking 5 years old, and I'm that nigga still to this day. So I'm gonna stay here. You guys are gonna. When I'm ready to move, I'm the most important person in this building. He's done it at the Super Bowl. He's done it all those tours. Like
he's a real nigga, man.
For real.
He was a real nigga.
And that is an amazing way to end it off.
Beautiful.
If anyone has
Happy birthday, Janet Jackson. That was the other day.
Gonna make money, man. I can't believe Twitter tried to say that wasn't.
She's gonna be singing live TV for the first time in a long, long time. One of these next award shows, something that's coming up.
Really?
Janet Jackson. Yeah,
I'll check it.
Busta Rhymes, Janet Jackson. Bob. Say ho. To Bob.
Dubai.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest.
All right.
Hi there. I just want to take this time to thank each and every one of you for cutting a piece of your day and letting You Might Want to Sit Down for This have our way with your earlobes for an hour and 30 minutes. If you like this content, if you like us, if you hate us, if you want to date us, please do not hesitate to like, post, comment, subscribe, and number 4, the most important, share. Share the clips with your colleagues. Share it with your wife. Share it with the YNs. Share it with Sharon. Because the more shares and the more cares is the more tears and the more fears. Thank you. And most importantly, if you've forgotten everything on this episode, remember this. The key and the secret success to life and happiness and the keys to the universe is...
This concludes our broadcast day.
You might want to sit down for this.